Hello and welcome to another episode of Sharp Talk. I'm Tom, aka Tom Hosting Outdoors on YouTube and Instagram. Today I have with me Steve, aka Super Steel Steve on YouTube and at Chef Kalari on Instagram. Gerald, aka Outpost 76 on YouTube and Instagram. We have Alex, who is Alex underscore Knifebox on Instagram and Alex's Knifebox on YouTube. And today, our special guest, you guys might know him from the Knife Nuts podcast, we have Levon.
Hi guys. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for joining us, Levon.
My pleasure.
So what we always start off with here is what's in everybody's pockets today?
Ooh. Who goes first?
You.
Oh shoot! You know what's funny is I actually have two knives in pocket today.
I did the
So
same.
the first one is Three Rivers Forge, Three Rivers Manufacturing, I should say. Adam in Red Mike, which is really nice knife. And the other guy is the new Matt Diskin IDF.
Oh,
Kind of
shit.
steel.
Ooh.
I saw that.
Really cool knife.
Sweet.
Really happy with this.
You
It even comes with a nice leather pouch.
Nice.
Not a pouch guy, but this is a nice one.
Yeah. Well, it's classy. It's nice presentation.
Exactly.
You can literally hear Alex's dick getting hard right now.
Yeah.
It's literally growing right there.
It's a super badass knife. I love that shit.
It is a nice one, yeah. I like it a lot.
Steve, what do you got in your pocket?
What's in my pocket? What am I carrying today? What did I carry? Oh, I got a 940-1. That's what I'm carrying. I forgot what I was carrying.
Ew.
Nice.
Can't go
Ew.
wrong with that.
Oh, I can't go wrong with that.
I hate the
Ew.
940.
Ew. The 940 hates you. You know
That's
that?
probably
Yeah.
accurate.
Told me so. It told me so. How you like that?
Where's your fucking badge?
Yeah.
Show us the badge. Oh God, he actually asked.
I have it. Goddamn right, with badge. It says special agent, by the way, in case you're
Damn
wondering.
right. Special
Yeah.
Agent Balls. I like it.
God.
Good stuff.
Anyway, I'm captain, self-appointed.
Arrow?
Gerald Mannix.
Man,
No. Maximum Para 3, the day 7, 30 days of Maximum.
Hey, I
Very
love
nice.
my Maxim at Mid-Para. It's a great knife.
How you liking it so far, Gerald?
Dude, well, I've had my Maximum Mannix for, I don't know, probably close to 2 years, so I think Maximum's great. I just think a lot of people still have have like some voodoo attached to Maximum, like it's, all the stuff that just isn't the case. So,
Yep.
just like when I did S110V, same thing.
Very nice.
Do you like it or you don't like Maxim?
Oh no, I love Maximum. It's awesome.
Yeah, I actually it was a steel that eluded me for a really long time. I wanted to pick it up and so I said the hell with it. I'll get it in a 3, and I've been pretty impressed with it.
Yeah, it's good stuff. I did a whole series on it on my channel just to try and get rid of some of the rumors spread by Apostle P and Michael Emler with it's unsharpenable and it's glass and all that. And good
Sure.
buddy of ours, BJ Hill, he's beat the shit out of it, like well beyond any knife should ever go through, and the thing held up.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So,
Hammering it through a log with a ball peen hammer.
not to
Yeah.
mention both of ours were 69 plus Rockwell.
Wow.
So
Yeah,
I mean,
I've heard some. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not a Super Steel Steve level of steel knowledge here, but I've really enjoyed, and I think it's pretty an impressive material.
for sure. Am I next?
Great.
Has everyone else shared what they got?
Alex has it. Come on, Alex. What you got,
yeah.
Alex?
You got something good, right?
Over or under $500, everybody. You already.
It's always over. Well, actually, technically, that one wasn't, was it?
Nope. So there
Is it a Cherbakov?
No, it is from Russia, though. It's kind of an unknown maker. It's I don't even know how to pronounce this shit. It's like mechanic knives. And it's in CPM S125. And this guy, I just found him on Instagram and just made this beautiful 4.25-inch knife for me. And he's got this really beautiful carbon fiber. I mean, it looks like he got the best out of the carbon fiber because it's copper all the way through.
Yeah, really nice.
Got a little Timascus pocket clip, and then it's if you look at the pivot, it's all carved out.
Yeah, wow. Can I see the spine of that thing?
It's fine.
Oh yeah, it's pretty beefy.
It is.
I was wondering because those fullers are really like when you first pulled out, it was going to be like a chisel line or something with how deep that fuller is, and that's on both sides.
I'm sorry, Levon. Did you say Fuller?
It did. I should say blood groove. Sorry.
There we go. That's what I thought. It's a brand name. It's a blood groove.
Is it? Did you see the contest I did on Instagram the other day? Oh yeah, that's blood groove, an umlaut over a U and two O's.
The one thing I really keened in on was the edge on this thing is so fine, just kind of like a Shiro. It's really clean edge he did on it. Thing is screaming sharp.
It's a cool looking knife.
Yeah, and I think from what I usually buy and stuff, I would have said that this knife was probably maybe like a $700 or $800 knife in my opinion. But it was $450. What a deal! I liked it so much.
Tie liners.
Yeah, titanium liners, and if you look at the liners, they're super beefy.
That's cool.
I liked it so much. I just ordered another one in blue carbon fiber and Damascus. A little bit smaller though.
In true Alex fashion.
That's saying a lot coming from Alex, though. Alex is like the Russian whisperer, so
I like.
He
Russian
seeks out. That's cool.
He's basically Russian for the most part. I mean, like.
Come on. No, my thing right now is the South African knife makers. That's what I'm really enjoying. My Scout should be done next week, and that I'm freaking excited about.
It's a cool one.
Yeah.
Sure.
Well, Alex, you're gonna make my two knives look like shit.
It's because they are shit.
Price.
I got a Bradford Guardian in Venatus 4 Extra. I've been beating on that thing.
That's another steel that's eluded me.
It's different. It sharpens up like same level as crew wear to me, but it holds an edge a little bit longer. I don't know.
Have you ever had a good experience with crew wear?
See, I'm doing a whole crew wear series on my channel right now. I haven't posted the first episode yet, but I've put it through some good use.
I've always said Venatus 4E or 4V, which are very, very, very similar, is like if Crewwear and Rex 45 had a hate child. They fucked and had a hate child, you get 4V or Venatus 4E.
That makes sense.
If they fucking had a hate child in Austria, you get Venatus 4E. If they fucking have a hate child in, California, you get 4V.
The fuck is that supposed to mean?
I don't. It sort of sense to me. I don't know why, but it did.
He gets it. See, nothing at all, Alex.
What's wrong with California, Steve?
I was saying it was a wonderful place where beautiful steel were born.
Nothing's wrong with California.
Are you a little sensitive, Alex? I feel like you're a little sensitive right now.
I don't want to hear anything from you, Special Agent.
So where are you guys located? Do you mind if I ask?
I'm in Ohio.
Ohio. Okay.
Los Angeles.
Los Angeles. And
I'm like. Oh no! Go ahead.
Huh?
I'm like 20 minutes north of Daytona Beach, right by the ocean.
Got it.
Where are you at?
I'm in Philadelphia. Where are you from, Steve? I don't think I heard you.
I'm living in Georgia. I'm from Florida.
Georgia. Got it. Yeah, I'm out of Philly.
Philly. Pennsylvania has some serious rednecks. By the way.
That is 100% true.
Like no joke. Like
without doubt.
Backwoods hillbilly ass.
No one
ever met in my life.
Ever expects. No one ever expects it, but there are some redneck fucking people. Can I curse on this?
Yes.
Come on.
Okay.
Fuck it.
It's seriously true. Jake lives out in the boonies. He's out near Lancaster. Are you guys familiar with Lancaster?
Yep.
So it's Amish country.
Yeah.
He lives. He's very close to Intercourse, Pennsylvania. It's a real place.
That's great.
Oddly enough, there's a really nice knife store in Intercourse called Country Knives.
You
I need to
go,
live there.
you go 45 minutes south of me, and it gets that way.
Bet.
Up here,
Yeah,
it's not quite
yeah.
too bad, but you go 45 minutes
you-
south, and there's like 3 people with a full set of teeth in the county.
Nice.
It's great.
Now the Amish aren't necessarily really rednecks. In the outer lying Amish area, there's definitely a lot of tractor poles and stuff.
I love that.
Which is a lot of fun. I got to tell you. Yeah.
You love that.
Yes.
My buddy down here just went hunting with some guys from central Pennsylvania, and the horror stories that he described to me, like they went to go shoot some hogs, and these gentlemen from Pennsylvania literally shot anything that moved. He said there were hogs running away with pieces of leg blown off, pieces of ham blown off, pieces of shoulder. They were just, if it moved, they just shot at it. They didn't line anything up. They just hillbilly, clock, buckshot, and shot at anything that even had a pulse. And there were just body parts flying everywhere, hogs, like a butcher.
That's messed up.
That's Pennsylvania.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
Just shoot it till it dies. Just keep shooting till it dies. That's all.
Exactly. Eventually, right?
That's it. Yeah, just keep shooting till it dies.
That's great.
Great.
All right. Anybody got anything new?
New knives. What are we talking about? New knives.
So I got the Scout coming. I ordered that Russian in Damascus and blue carbon fiber. And I have a Timascus and Westy micarta and herringbone Damascus mini gold coming real soon.
Nice.
Wow, you really are a South African kick, huh?
Yeah.
That's good. Now you saw the two that I got. Those are two that I got this week. But I have a couple things coming. I mean, I have a few Kaiser coming in to check out next week. Some of the new ones, which actually look really good.
Because your guys' podcast is sponsored by Kaiser, correct?
Yeah. They're pretty cool. You know, they send us stuff to check out. They're very low pressure. They're a company, you know, and easy to work with. That's what I like to deal with. And a lot of this new coming out has been legitimately good. So I have no problem recommending it. The price ranges. Brian's eventually making me a dad. I know that sounds ridiculous, but he actually is.
What?
What else? It's always something. I got in one of the you guys will love this. Meimler did a design for whips.
Yeah, the Emler.
Stonefish, I think.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. Nice fixed blade.
Stoner fish.
I'm with that too.
Stoner fish.
Works for me.
It's a solid looking design, but I mean, like, if I've never watched his videos before, I probably would like it a little bit more. Like,
yeah,
the guy's cool, I guess.
He's
but,
a nice dude. He's a really nice.
Yeah, he
dude.
seems like a nice guy, but he's throwing some opinions out there that I'm like, oh boy.
It makes the world go around, man.
It does.
Everybody has a different opinion. You know, that's the way I see a lot of this stuff. It's
yeah.
like, if it stopped from enjoying the hobby, that's one thing. But if it's just someone else's opinion, who cares?
There's a lot of people that think that way about Steve, right, Steve?
I don't know. Don't ask me. I like me, so my opinion of me is fairly high, but you might want to ask other people their opinion of me. I don't know.
Well,
Yeah,
let's,
I just don't like when things take themselves too seriously. That's just my
It's a knife hobby.
right.
yeah, definitely.
I'm just a fat guy that cuts shit. That's all I do.
Join the club.
With a really sexy hat on.
Can't compete with you.
Steve, for
Well,
that shirt, I tried to find glasses that looked almost exactly like the ones you were wearing.
They were spot on, bro. The
Perfect.
shirt was perfect. Perfect.
It took me forever, but man, I found the perfect ones. I was like, yep, that's it.
Fucking perfect.
And that's like the only shirt we've sold.
I've seen a few of them in the community lately, so
We sold like
Yeah.
5 of them, like that first
See?
day.
join the Force. Hashtag join the Force, not Star Wars.
Hell yeah.
I guess I gotta go get a shirt then.
You need to get a shirt. You need to be part of the HRC police.
Did you happen to see it, Levon?
I think I did see it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was a proud member of the HRC place with Steve's
Oh,
sunglasses.
God.
So,
Oh my gosh.
cool kids are doing it.
What was the shirt? What shirt you had on at Blade Show that gave me a lull?
My balls have better centering than your Spyderco.
Yeah, that was good. That was good. Or was it Benchmade? Was it Spyderco or Benchmade?
I had a Benchmade too that said
No.
in Georgia Buttercuts Benchmade 3B.
That's what you had on. That's what on.
It was
That
one of
one,
the two.
that one backed me up. I like that one.
The Benchmade guys had no clue. They looked at me. They were like, "That's so funny. I don't get it."
Yeah, they care.
Of course they don't.
You're not affecting their business.
I just took selfies with it, with all of them.
It was funny. I appreciated it.
Shabazz thought it was funny too.
Good.
He snuck up on me like a ninja.
He is like a ninja Dora.
Good. Snuck up. Thought he was a weird guy. And then I talked to him and I realized he was a weird guy.
We all are.
Alex back there with his like elevator action. Look at him. Watch. He's just standing there, just casually flipping this thing like as it shuts itself. Look at him.
What is that? A Sigma? Or is that the new knife?
It's
It's drop Eddie King. Dude, I'm telling you right now, if anybody sees that right now, you just knocked the value of a Shiro down by 30% with that knife.
Can't knock the value of a Sigma any lower than it already is.
Then the what?
Sigma. It's already.
I'm seeing him come back up a little bit, man.
It will. I'm just picking on you.
I love this thing, man. I hunted this knife for a long time. This was the first knife that decided me to go over $1,000.
It's a very nice looking knife. I cannot argue.
But I know some people don't like the little tiny flipper tab. But I mean, as you can see, I don't really have any problem flipping it.
I had it on the Pro and it worked really well. So I got no complaints about the flipper tab.
Yeah.
Look at it. Look at it. Look at it.
Is this the game we're in right now? We hold the knife up to the camera the whole time and flip it.
Yes.
I didn't come prepared. All right, well, look. Now I gotta do it. Is this what we're doing? Like this? I
Yeah.
think this has a detent wrap on too, which is nice.
That thing's sweet, man. I saw a couple of these on Instagram have one.
It is very cool. Matt's a good friend of mine, so I've been waiting for this for a while.
What are what's the standard pricing on those things, like from high to low?
Like $375 or something for that, and all the way up to like $525 for a Damascus steel, and it's integral. I mean,
Damn.
I feel like that's on the low side.
Yeah.
Wait, 3 to 525?
Mm-hmm.
525?
That's 5 means.
Wow, that's cheap.
Yes.
That's super cheap for a Damas steel.
I'm trying to convince him to do custom inlays for them.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if you guys were able to go to Matt Diskin's stall at Blade. He had a whole bunch of Launch 8s, the Kirsch Launch 8, which is a really good knife, by the way. It has a really thin blade stock. I don't know if you guys have tried that yet. Probably the best Launch series by far. But he did ones with some inlays with Fat Carbon, Mother of Pearl, just all sorts of different stuff. He had white G10 and just some different looks. But I really wanted to pick one of them. I'm not going to make a send, so I'm hoping John Gray will pick one up for me.
Nice.
They're
Nice.
very cool.
Very cool.
Guess what I sold, boys?
Oh yeah, that's the next segment, right? What have
I
we
know
sold?
what you sold.
Hopefully you bought a set of balls with whatever you sold with the money.
No, I have leftover money though, so I might have to.
See if your old lady will let you buy them back.
You said you wanted to buy your first custom, right?
I did not buy a custom.
No, but you're saying you want to sell stuff to buy your first custom.
Yeah, I think I've put that on hold for the time being.
I mean, she put it on hold. Come on.
Oh, whatever. God.
He didn't say no.
I mean, that's got to play a part for everybody, right? Anyhow, I
What'd you
sold
get?
I sold the large Nkosi.
Look at you. Oh, there it goes.
Yep, I
See,
sold it to
No way.
Mike over at I Heart Knives.
Mike's such a good dude. Shout out to Mike at I Heart Knives. That guy's like the coolest,
Yep.
nicest human being that's ever walked the earth.
He was super
I
cool.
agree.
When I pulled it from Instagram, he goes, "Oh, where'd the Chris Reeve go? I wanted to buy that." I'm like, "I think I'm gonna wait for a minute." And then like that day, I texted him like, "Yeah, I'm gonna let it go." So
Playing with that emotion.
I was. He's so excited for it. I got to get it sent out for him tomorrow. But I sent it out. Right, I sold it. I bought a Benchmade Super Freak with my discount. Just because I'm not sharing my discount with you, Steve.
You're such a why?
Because
What shit is Terry? Why?
Yeah,
Is
what did that thing cost you, Tom? Like $110?
I won't. I can't actually give away my discount. Like I can't tell you what it is. But Gerald, you're pretty damn close.
Yeah, I know what your discount is.
Yeah, it's pretty baller. And that's after they tacked on $15 in shipping.
It's not baller unless you ship it, unless you share it.
My brother-in-law was a manager at a Dick's Sporting Goods. Wonder if it's that same discount.
I bet it is. So you know,
Yeah. Can we call it the dick discount? Because that's what you are, Tom.
it's
You're
fine.
being a dick.
It's called Big Dick Discount.
Dick discount.
So yeah, I bought that. It's like the same size. It's more comfortable, better steel, better cutting geometry. Even as much as I liked the large Nkosi, it was probably my favorite knife to date. I think the Super Freak's gonna do a little bit better for me.
I have said for a long time that the Benchmade Freak is a poor man's Sebenza. Look at that. Huh?
Is that the one with the Doug Ritter shaped blade on it?
Yes.
Yes.
A lot of guys look at it like a Doug Ritter shape, but if you hold that up side by side to like a typical Chris Reed drop point like this,
It's very
just
similar.
wider.
Yeah.
It's got the same flat. It's got the same grunt. I'm telling you. If you hold the silhouette, the handle.
Yeah,
of,
they made the handle a little simpler. This kind of remind me of a Senza.
I'm telling you, it's a poor man's Benz. I've been saying it for years.
Way back, you'll love this. Back, I guess when I say way back, I mean like 2011. I still have it. What's the Anzo? Okay, that was literally a Sebenza with an axis lock and what do you call it? The carved handles, Anzo pattern handles. It was very much of her. I still have it, and it works great.
You still have it?
I do. I'll get it. It's down three floors. Just towards the end of this, whatever you guys want me to, I'll get it and I'll show you.
Okay.
I want to see this. This sword, black magic.
It is such a classic looking knife and such a classic design. That's the one knife, even though I've like bought like some other cool stuff, I always carry that Sebenza. I always go back to it at least once a week. Very much enjoy my Sebenza.
I think I like the 31 a little bit more than I like the Nkosi.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little bit more simple. I don't like the jimping on the Nkosi. It's a little bit too deep. Tears up my finger a little bit. I like the Sebenza jimping. It's a little bit finer. Huh?
You have baby hands, Tom.
Listen, I do have baby hands, and that's okay.
We've talked about this.
Think about this. You need to go chop some wood, bro. Go chop some wood. Go grab an exhaust pipe after the car's been running. Toughen those things up, man.
Lift a weight.
Yeah.
I wouldn't go that far. I mean, I'm not really doning weight.
I picked up. I put them down.
Yeah.
Oh,
And drink some alcohol, for God's sakes.
listen, I was gonna grab some for this, and I was like, you know what? I'd rather keep my sanity for the podcast.
Just a little whiskey, man.
Yeah.
Just a little bit.
Everyone's doing it. Come on. Don't
All the
be
cool
lame.
kids are.
Yeah, come on. Been doing it.
Maybe.
Don't be a Tom.
Yeah, don't be a Tom. Don't be a Tom. Come on. Here, I know you keep looking at her in the corner. Ask her real
She's
quick.
not in
If
the
it's okay.
same room. I'm looking at my other screen that has the Twitch chat.
Your other
Jesus.
Douchebag.
Oh my
ask
god.
her if it's okay. You can have something.
Anyhow, I had a
Tom,
What?
let him drink.
I had a question for Levon before we get into like the main topic of the episode, because I'm just curious, because like all of us are involved in this, but I guess like some of our guests are on the outside of it. So what do you think about the whole HRC debate from an outsider's perspective?
I mean, talked about it a little bit in our episode, but honestly, I've gone on way too. I stopped caring. Ago, so that's where I stand on it. You know.
I'm always curious to see what other people's opinions are on it, because all of us are in the same circle, so we all know each other's opinions.
Sure.
We all have the same thing.
I'm hard to avoid it for a while, you know.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you guys something funny. I'm in a group chat with I don't know, maybe it's a secret, but there is a group chat goes on with some notable YouTube people, and a lot of times it's a lot of bullshit and stuff like that. But for a while, there was a lot of talk about the HC thing, and that was the moment I turned off all my notifications. So, that's where I did watch Steve's video. You know, I enjoyed it. I thought you made some good points.
You
Which
watched
one?
his. You mean you
which
watched his
one?
movies?
No, there was one specifically that was sent to our group that they were yelling in. I guess it doesn't narrow it down.
Doesn't narrow it down at all. You were drinking and yelling. All
You were on and on about how you're a chef and stuff.
about what?
Chef? Does that sound familiar?
Well, that's every
I'm
episode
guessing
too.
it was
That's
the
every episode.
HRC doesn't matter and the world is flat.
Yes, the one.
Yeah.
That's the one. I think it was a response to Kevin Cleary and
Oh yeah.
it's called
Aaron
the Farm Forge people. Yeah, I watched it. You know what it is? I think you were even trying to be mean. I don't think you were even to be mean. I think you just had those voices that just sounds like you're being mean.
Well, like you just said, I went on and on about being a chef. Being a chef, I have to be direct.
It was good. I liked it. I honestly, God, I can't watch knife reviews anymore. It's like anything else. Like when you're doing stuff, when it's part of your life, constantly now, it's literally another job for me.
Mm-hmm.
So I have to turn myself off. I don't like to let other things affect my opinion on different stuff. So I approach things with very little. What's the word I'm looking for? Information. Suggestive information.
I was going to say information doesn't sound good. If you say you approach things without a lot of information.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
I was like, you sure about that?
Yeah, I to approach an opinion, I should say. Formulate an opinion before I hear what everybody has to say.
Yeah.
Without any outside opinions.
Yeah.
I don't let it, especially if someone's showing me a specific knife, something like that. I think a lot of times people like to jump a bandwagon for certain things, and that's how certain knives get very, very hyped up, or ones get ignored. It's just whoever to talk it up.
Definitely. Like all the Three Rivers stuff is just huge right now.
I will tell you, I just got it literally yesterday. I bought it. It's not like they sent it to me. I waited for it like anybody else. It's a nice knife, man.
Yeah.
Super thin, and I'm impressed. I thought I was gonna be like, oh, it's pretty cool, and then throw it away, but it's pretty good. Oh yeah, you got one too. Look at that. Is that the same one, or is that smaller?
This is a Neutron.
Yeah. Okay. I like that too.
What's the new one? The Nerd?
Yeah, I think
No,
that's like a
this is-
slip joint. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. Cool.
This one sucks fucking dick.
Really?
This is horrible. I can change the centering on this knife just by squeezing it.
I don't have any of those. This is solid, dude. I mean,
This
even
one.
pivot like is like really good.
Well, here's the thing. When I went to Blade Show, I took a look at all the new Neutrons and the Atoms that they were showing over there. I don't know if they had an Atom. I know they had the Neutrons.
Mm-hmm.
I was checking them out. All the grinds are much better. They're much thinner. The edge bevels are all much more consistent because they stopped having.
You guys can't see that. I mean, the tolerances are insane.
Not on this one. The one I have here was. I mean, I could show you. I could literally. I did it.
I believe it.
Yeah, you did it. You did it on a video.
Yeah, Shabazz got mad at me. He hit me up and he's like, get mad at me because I was squeezing it and changing the centering. He's like, you're not supposed to, whatever. I love Shabazz. He's a good dude. But, yeah, this one's just, the bevels were all fucked. Like, it looked like, it looked like RJ Martin had a stroke, like, right here in the middle of putting this bevel on. And then, like, he kept talking about how slicey it was. And this one is 25 thousandths behind the edge at a 30-degree inclusive. So I was like, meh.
I mean, I'll tell you, this one is good.
No, they did here's the thing. So I spoke to, I don't know if it's supposed to be a secret or not, so I'm not going to say it, but I spoke to a custom maker at Blade Show that is now doing the grinds for Three Rivers Manufacturing. And they all look fucking spectacular. All the new ones looked fucking excellent. All the Neutrons look great. I don't know if they had the Atoms, but whatever, all the ones that I handled, I was there with Vinny from Nero Knives. All the ones that we handled, all were thin. None of them shifted. They were all built well. There was no issues that I had with this first. First.
Oh, it's good to see things. I like to things improve. That's a good thing.
100%. That's how you get better. You have to improve. No one's perfect. You got to take feedback and you got to roll with it.
Absolutely.
That's what it's about. So people stop getting mad at me for calling out people's dumb shit. You know why Three Rivers makes really nice thin knives in their new Neutrons? Because people like me bitched about it. They got tired of getting called out, and they switched the guy who was doing the grinds. Now instead of RJ Martin's old ass doing 10,000 grinds a day and having seizures in the middle of it, and your edge looking like a goddamn like a heartbeat. Now you get nice, consistent, even grinds. You're welcome.
Shit.
Jesus. We might need to make that into a T-shirt, Steve.
Yeah, right there. I need a T-shirt right there.
We need a caricature of RJ Martin grinding at Three Rivers for you.
Hooked up to an EKJG.
I happen to love RJ Martin knives.
Oh, me too.
They're fucking. He's a legend in the industry.
I won't deny that they're not for me though.
Yeah.
I can't do anything about the talent, like anything like that. But it's just one of those things. I think it's a collector who grew up during a certain era. I think just before I got into it, he was the shit, man. Not gonna do any better than that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are we talking about?
RJ Martin.
Yeah, man. The guy did hella fucking good. But you can't do hella great work forever. You can't be fucking in your goddamn 60s taking grinding jobs from Three Rivers Manufacturing.
No.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
There's one guy that's older than him that's still doing phenomenal work. Bob Terrazula.
He's exceptional. Who is this?
Bob Terrazula?
Bob Terrazula. But what I'm saying is, is he doing 150 grinds a day?
He's not.
He's
No,
not.
I'm saying, yeah. You know what I'm saying? You can't. I'm not.
A lot of these guys have a team that work for them. RJ does. Bob does.
Three Rivers contacted me through Instagram and said RJ Martin is one personally doing the grinds on. Well, you ask anybody, I don't care how good or how much of a legend you are, to sit there and fucking put bevels on how many hundreds of knives a day. Like, it's not, the guy's trying, you know what I mean? Like, it's not going to happen. It's like any profession. You can't have some guy, just because he's a legend doesn't mean the guy's going to be, you know what I mean, putting the same attention and care he does into his customs as
I would almost argue that the more legend you are, the more nonchalant you're going to take a big job like this. I mean, that could be, that could go either way, but there's two ways thought about that.
You're saying that they would give less shits?
I would say that they might give less shits,
Yeah,
or they might think that the amount of shit giving is the most amount of shit that should be given.
It depends. Something that I've learned in my short time in this knife game is custom makers have gigantic egos. Gigantic fucking egos.
And artists do, man. And it's not such that it's a gigantic ego. It's that it's an incredibly fragile one.
Well, no,
It can be put they can their mood can shift almost instantaneous because it's
true.
their livelihood and it's their their art. So there's a lot wrong on it for them. You guys, I can say that from just having Brian on the show and him being like one of my best friends in the world and watching stress from day to day. He's a successful guy and he makes an amazing product. He's always worried about what's next happening. What do I have to do to this going? How do I have a family doing this? So
But if I may
shit happens like anything else.
If I may interject, Brian is a special deal all of his own. Like that guy makes some incredibly sharp. Like that guy really cares about the product. I think more than the average maker.
No
and
question.
It shows in his work. It totally shows in his work.
Yeah, and not an act. He's
Yeah.
part of it is like his personality is. We actually turn it up to 11 on the guest, but he gives a shit. You know what I mean? He gives a shit about everything he does, which is impressive to see.
I swear that he can't put out a bad design. It's like every design he puts out, I'm like, holy shit, I need that. Like his new one. What's the new one called? The Void.
I called it in an episode, and that's how the name that stuck. I guess what he's using it. That's what he's using, but that thing turned out good. I said to him, like, you got to do one with a thumb opener. He's never one of his OCD makes him design stuff where everything closes in the handle 100%. Can't stand having it stick out. It's like you just got to get over that and do a thumbing or something like that. So this is the first one done like that.
His design aesthetic is just awesome.
Yeah,
he knows what he's doing.
Question. So is being a perfectionist an excuse for arrogance?
Arrogance. I mean, that depends. Like if you don't give a fuck people think about you, sure, why not? You can,
because you sell a product. Okay, you sell a product to the public. Here's where I'm coming from. You said before, like me ranting about being a chef. I custom make a product, right? I build it from scratch, and then I sell it to the public hundreds and hundreds of times a day, right? Sure. So my livelihood, my family's livelihood, everything is all riding on my ability to not only execute those products, but organize a team to do the same thing, right? So yeah. I can relate to a maker the same way. However, the difference is just like in the knife business, if I just do what I want to do and people don't buy it, then I go out of business. So correct. What I see a lot in the knife making world is this arrogance with a lot of makers. I don't know Brian or anything. I'm not talking about him. I'm just talking about in general. When I was at Blade and I meet these guys, there's this very I made this and you should be fucking lucky I did type of mentality. And I don't understand that, because when you make something, when you're a craftsman and you make something to be sold, right? You're appreciative of the people buying it because they're the ones putting food on your table, right? If they don't buy it, you don't need it. So that's my one thing that I don't understand about a lot of makers is this whole, like you were saying, some legendary makers might not give a fuck. Well, that's cool if you don't give a fuck, but that's just arrogance. Like you saying, I'm
not saying you have to like them. I don't like people who are arrogant, but I'm just saying they don't give a fuck because they are arrogant.
What I'm saying is the knife community tends to accept that arrogance. Like, oh, well, he's just a creative person. Well, I'm a fucking creative person, but if I walk out in my dining room and fucking tell people to go fuck themselves and they don't like one of my dishes, I'm not going to be in business very long.
But
the public entertainment.
Steve, I think a lot of the knife community created the way that this whole thing is going on. Because when I started collecting knives back in 2013, I think knife makers were different in a little bit in their perspective. Like kind of more like you're talking about, like, oh, thank you so much for my product. Hey, if you have any questions, talk to me. And there's still plenty of those makers that are like this out there. But now when you go to like those Blade shows or you go to USN Gathering or all these other places, there's a whole like different feel to the whole knife community. And it's changed quite a bit. And the way that the whole knife game has gone, it makes these guys feel like they're celebrities a lot of the time. And this is kind of like the byproduct of all that is just, people treat them like celebrities, so they start to feel like celebrities, And I'm not saying that's a good thing, Like, I love a humble knife maker. Like, for a good one for me was like Doc Schiffer. Doc Schiffer is like one of the classiest dudes I've dealt with.
He's a sweet man, dude. That is a sweet dude.
Super. I mean,
No question.
I had like a couple little ticks and hicks like on my recon that I wanted him to fix. He's like, no problem. I'm like, hey man, when I bought this, it didn't come with a cert. No problem, I'll make you a cert. Like, everything I wanted and I asked of the man, he gave to me, and he said thank you. Like, he was the most appreciative knife maker, and knife makers like this still exist. There's
Absolutely.
plenty.
Can I say something about what you were talking about?
Sure.
What I wanted to mention is that, are you having these experiences with people that you've purchased stuff from?
Have I?
Steve.
No, I'm talking about my experience when I was at Blade and through messages back and forth with a couple makers.
So here's I understand what you're coming from, but
If that's what you're
I don't get a lot of arrogance from walking around and talking to makers, especially a show where any jackass can walk up to the table and maybe drop the fucking knife that's sitting on the table. They don't know who they're talking to. They don't know who they trust. Everything gets blown out of proportion online now too. You know what I mean?
That's part of the job, though. That's what you signed up for. Part of the job.
Guess so, but it's they're not proving anything. You know. I'm not disagreeing with you.
No,
I'm just saying there's a lot of different perspective that goes on. Like, for example, I'll call ADV, right? He doesn't make a lot of knives I personally like, and he always came off as sort of arrogant and stuff when you're looking at the posts he makes or any interviews of him and things like that. But I'm a good friend with J.D. Van Deventer. You're talking about South African knives, right? ADB is South African maker / production company or whatever. And I was talking to him at the table. He didn't know who I was. And I started talking about the new stuff he's been doing with Reich, which I think is kind of cool. Whereas it looks ridiculous, but it's up my alley. And his whole case and chain, as soon as JD came and found me and gave me a hug, and he realized, like, oh wait, you're like a nice guy. I'll talk to you. So it all depends on where everybody's coming from and who they know and stuff like that. But our relationship with him changed instantaneously. So I don't know. I think they don't know who they can trust.
So if you're someone of notoriety, right, they're going to be nice to you. See what I'm saying? You see how fuck that sounds?
Notoriety, just someone that vouched for me. You know what I mean? Not because of my podcast, just because AD liked me. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. You know someone that he knows, so all of a sudden things change.
No, that's not even true, because that's funny he brings up JD. I don't know JD. I have a friend that's a friend with him, but I didn't even let him know. I had a knife that one of his EDC bolster lock front flippers, and it's fully polished on the frame, and I can't stand it because my fingerprints get all over it and everything. So my buddy's going to USN, and I asked him to take it for me to give it to JD. So he's like, well, message JD first and just ask him real quick. And then literally like 3 minutes after I asked him, hey, could you just spot treatment my knife? Can you just redo my frame? Because I can't deal with these fingerprints. And he sends me like a voice text very nicely saying, no problem, just drop it off. Like, so he's a perfect example of very, very cool custom knife maker. He was super nice about it. I've had a back and forth conversation with him. And talk about a guy who makes some pretty serious knives, who can be cocky. JD is kind of up there. If you know, like, higher custom knives, he makes some pretty wicked stuff. And
yeah, definitely does.
Oh, he does, man. And then, here he is, like, answering probably, like, who knows how many hundreds of Instagram messages daily, and within, like, 5-10 minutes, he messages me back.
It, man. No, it's true.
What I'm saying is what he just said. What I'm saying is Levon's experience was that the relationship changed the second the maker realized he was with someone that he knew that could vouch for him.
Well, yeah,
Yeah,
but that's even.
I think
like,
that's just people, man. I don't. I'm the same way. Like if I don't like you, you know. It's
Well, yeah,
just the
but
way.
yeah, that's not what I'm saying. That's totally different. What I'm saying, if you don't like me, you're gonna let me know you don't like me, right? But you have to figure out who I am before you understand you don't like me, right? So what I'm
Yes.
saying is, when you approach a table or you approach a maker with a thing, and there's automatically this.
That is the just because you're a good knife doesn't mean you have people skills. That's a whole other story, dude.
But
But you're
dealing.
right. Right. You should have to be able to
You're
be
dealing.
cordial. Yes.
You're dealing with the public. These are the people that support your family. They're
Right.
supporting your livelihood. So what I find very intriguing is how you guys are naming plenty of like you guys are naming makers that are great. I met I didn't even know who he was. Brad Southern. I met Brad Southern. He's super nice guy. Super nice dude.
Yep.
I'm not saying I didn't meet makers there that were wonderful to talk to. What I'm saying is there was more than most were there was a standoffish. The ones that were doing that were had higher notoriety. There we go. Like he was saying with the celebrity, there were some custom makers out there that no one's ever heard of. I mean, these guys are making piece by piece. Who were again because they weren't well known, they were just like they were very nice and very cordial and wanted to show you what they were doing and talk about their work. Whereas when you got to some of the other tables that were selling higher end pieces that had more notoriety, not that it was better work, but that they had more notoriety, it was much more standard. It was one word answers. It was very, just. So I'm just taken back by that. It just doesn't make sense. As somebody who relies on his livelihood by selling things to the public, I've never met a carpenter like that. I've never met like a custom chair maker or a door maker or a custom or a private anyone who has to deal with the public to be so. You know what I mean? It's odd to me. It's awful.
I'm not saying I didn't have that experience with some people, and then their name will never get mentioned by me, regardless of what I'm doing, whether I have a podcast or not. You know what I mean? I don't care how good they are. If they're addicted to me, I'm not gonna tell them. But I think
it was just my experience. I thought it was odd. I'm new to this. This is my first time dealing.
Can you confirm that English was their first language?
I'm not
making sure. Plus, the French scene is really up right now.
What'd you say?
French scene. A lot of French makers.
Yeah. Which I'm actually French, so I'm very proud of that.
Well, bien.
I'm a classically trained chef. I've spent my entire career working for the French. I get them. I understand. I'm not talking about the French. I would love to get you with
an example because the French people there.
Yeah,
French people are just fuck you in general. That's just how they are. They're all like that. That's just their nature. That's just you could work for them for 3 years in a row, and they'll tell you to go fuck yourself over one goddamn thing. I get that. I'm talking, or even the Japanese. I'm not talking like I went and talked to what's it called, a Japanese maker. I'm talking full blown American English speaking. Yeah, like just your normal, average, high end, well known maker.
Yeah. No, but that's true. The French scene is becoming huge right now with, of course, Philippe Georget. L'Espect is another one. There's quite a few. Those knives are pretty cool. They're kind of like most of them have a minimalist kind of approach to them. But
it's either one side or the other. Either it's minimalist or completely bonkers.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah, and they're very cool. I really want a Philippe Georget, but man, dude. And so I contacted Philippe Georget trying to use my French card, and then so I talked to him, and I'm like, hey, I'm from France. I want a French custom knife for my collection. Blah blah blah. And then he's like, so where are you from? So I tell him what city I was born in, and he's like, holy shit, that's where I'm from. I'm like, no crap. So we started talking about, kind of the general area and stuff like that. And I'm like, hey, you're going to make me a knife, right? He's like, no. he's like, well, you're going to have to come to a knife show, or you're going to have to come to, or like maybe see if once in a while I have a knife auction. I tried really hard. You
know what? That's fair.
You tried to American negotiate a French maker.
That's the only time I try to finagle my way into getting a knife. I tried so hard. I want a 520. You know? The 520 is a really sweet knife, but I guess I don't know. I overheard on the on another podcast that all the 520s CKF are making are already sold out. Did you know that, Levon?
I had one. Was it 53? What's it called?
The 20 is the
The
small
smaller one? No, I don't think they're sold out. They haven't even launched yet.
So Dr. Franke's podcast said that apparently they had a quick release of them already, and then they're already spoken for.
There were plenty more by Christmas. I guarantee it.
Yeah, I hope.
That's how CKF. That's how CKF works.
Yeah, I hope so, because I'm definitely gonna try to buy one of those.
They're definitely gonna be more.
Shout out to CKF, by the way. They're really killing it this year.
They do. They really are. Yeah, I used to have. I don't buy CKFs until Black Friday.
Yeah, smart man.
Yeah.
They have crazy deals on Black Friday, man.
Yeah. And all of a sudden, everything goes back in stock.
Yeah, this is true. They play that game a lot.
Oh, dude.
Big
Like
time.
It sounds like.
Like the CK Spectre, they had that crazy one with the Damasteel blade with the Timascus. They advertised like a few weeks before. These are
Like
the last
$400 or something.
Yeah, they were like $400. It was nuts.
You never get your money back on it either. So
No, of course not. The 523 though, I think you will.
if you were okay, so let's put it this way: you're a production company. You have a lot of resources at your disposal, so you can sell every single 521 you make. Why the hell wouldn't you make more?
Right.
To bottleneck the market.
But that's what happens. You end up. It's like here's 50 of them. Go get them while you can. You know.
Yeah, but that's what. Come on. That's a Spyderco 101, right? The sprint run. They bottleneck.
Yeah, but
everything.
at least the sprint runs go away, unless you're talking about the brown S5 VN. That's the sprint run that will forever sprint.
Yeah. No, but that's what a lot of these guys do. It's good business. You bottleneck the market. You release them in spurts. Guys buy them up real quick, and they buy them for higher than they would be if they were a production model.
Yeah. There's definitely supply and demand is definitely a thing.
Oh yeah, 100%. It's good business.
I mean, you say like, oh, you're a good customer. Like 520 you put up online for us, okay? Yeah.
Yeah,
That's what it is.
Real thing. It's a real thing.
I bought a fifth at Blade Show. They were sold out online. They had a whole bunch there. So.
And then they had more at the Paris show. My buddy was over there. Like, hey, you want me to pick you one up? I have a buddy in France that's a knife collector, and I had told him, I'm like, man, I can't freaking find one of these things. And then he's like, oh yeah, they have some. I'll pick you one up. I was like, I end up
for a watch. It was too big and too shiny. I didn't want to carry it.
It looked pretty large.
The 53, the CKF.
Yeah.
It was a big son of a bitch.
A big knife.
With its bolsters and it had like marble carbon. It was a very nice knife. And it was funny. It's funny. I was only right next to the custom one. The cost is nicer. It is, but not by much. Potato chips right now.
Someone, what is it?
Gerald,
What?
you eating potato chips?
No, the pug's snoring next to me.
Oh my god.
Interference.
Look at
So guys,
he's great.
He's startled.
hey Tom.
Yeah.
Can you pull up your screen now and do that whole thing where you show the knife and we talk about it? Because I actually picked 5 knives to talk about tonight.
I can actually.
Can we see it too?
Hold up. Yes.
All right, let's do it.
All right. What are we looking at?
All right. So we're looking at Super Steel Steve for a second.
Okay.
Yeah, it was great.
All right, let's go to. Oh, Levon. So we usually pick 5 knives to talk about, and then we'll move on to the main topic. So I actually was on Instagram yesterday, and Adam Purvis was. Hopefully, I said that correctly.
Yeah.
You did.
You did.
And then, so he showed off a knife. I guess Tuya Knives contacted him. I don't know if you guys saw that video. And there's this knife, and I'm not generally a Chinese knife kind of guy, but we talk about some every once in a while. So, Tom, go ahead and type in, because I think this was really, really awesome. Or actually, yeah, go on to Adam Purvis's.
Middle one, right? The one below in the center.
Yeah, the Kingsman.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll go ahead and click this real
Just a
quick so
little
you guys can
closer
see
look
it.
at
But
this Tuya
dude, this knife,
Kingsman.
and I'm not gonna say it's
Before it gets
exactly
too
my
dark out.
style and the way it looks,
Whoops.
but holy crap! And I looked at the price
Just a
today; it's
little
about
closer look at
$260
this
bucks.
Tuya
But the
Kingsman.
one that Adam Purvis was holding
before it
up
gets too dark
had a
out.
mirror polished blade. I don't know if that's the standard or if that's just one that they sent to him only.
They
Really
only
nice
they only
machine.
made 2 with that mirror polish
Single-sided
blade.
That was only for him.
Pivot. I believe it's captured, but I'll
they're-
have to look at that.
So Adam is a business partner
Centered?
at Refine. Okay,
Right.
I got to put that out there first off.
25%.
In terms of what they're trying to do is they're trying to get
Very
Adam
nice
to
blade finish.
go over to use it for production.
Right.
I like the aesthetics
Um,
overall.
And the Kingsman's been out for a while. Like, it's a pretty
Inlays
model
are
of theirs.
very nicely
That's
done.
the first one. Nice, the
Very
mirror
even.
polish blade. So there are some other production, guys who have like
Kingsman.
production knives out there have just showed a couple of knives
Good.
claiming that their product is of Riot quality, things like that. Tuya is pretty darn close. I don't even think Riot can mirror polish blade like that.
That was insane, man.
Yes.
I mean,
Mhm.
the mirror polish on that knife was incredible.
Yeah. You
And
know who has Kingsman? Brian.
Oh, really?
Are you serious?
Yeah. It's like the only knives he has. Two of you guys are really cool.
I was gonna
like
say,
that.
doesn't he like not buy anything?
Thank you.
He's a business for him.
Yeah.
I've given knives. We do our Nuts Edition knives. He always gets one of those. So we have a good time.
So I think that's a pretty freaking awesome knife. M390, ceramic bearings, nice flipper. The mirror polish, I guess, is not something that all you guys listening out there is going to be able to get.
But they do a hand rub. There's a hand rub and a satin.
Very cool. Very
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, no, on the Kingsman, Alex, I'm not sure which one my buddy Mike bought, but he sent it off to Micah Sontag and had it completely flat ground,
Yeah.
and it's ridiculously thin. It looks awesome with a regrind on it.
Man, I mean, even the way it comes, the bevel that they put on the front of the tip is really freaking awesome. I love the way that looks. That's very cool.
There's a cool knife.
Very cool. 3.6 ounces, and then if you go on,
The only aesthetic thing I'm not crazy about the pattern on the bolster area, and it's a little short for the hand.
yeah, I'm not crazy about the pattern on the bolsters either, but I gotta say, the way that so for me, this is not a knife I'm gonna buy, but I really appreciate like the amount of work that was done. I mean, if you even look, and Tom's kind of showing back and forth, go right where the bolster lock is, Tom. Look at the machining right at the bottom where the marble carbon fiber ends, and just how nicely it's kind of machined out before kind of like that bubble effect starts.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's really, really nice. That's good work. For sure, that's really good
It looks
work.
awesome.
Very high quality stuff. And then if you guys can see my screen, I don't know if you can or not.
I can't
They
right now.
they even actually show the HRC, which on the knife that was advertised, which I was looking on True Talon's website, it showed the HRC at 62.
They had a run of knives go back. They actually recalled the knives because they had very low HRC. So they weren't properly, and they actually took them all back or refunded customers because of it.
Which was awesome.
Awesome.
Is it made by Tuya?
Yeah.
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 Hey Gerald, isn't Tuya the same company that put out they hit us up and then they put out that statement saying they were gonna start heat treating all their M390 around 61, 62?
It is.
That
Yeah.
should be them.
Yeah, Tuya knives, they're pretty badass. They're very responsive.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Not only that, they can do it because they made I don't remember what it was called in the Tuya version, but they sold that knife to Factor, the Absolute, and the compact version that I had of my buddy Mike's, I cut with it, and it did better than a lot of M390. It didn't do what 61 should usually do, but it did come out of 61 HRC, and it's probably about the 5th or 6th best M390 knife any of us have cut with yet, and it's manufactured by Tuya.
Yeah, big ups to Tuya. Only knife I've tested from Tuya was the one you sent me, Gerald, that I still have.
Yeah.
That OS 10.
Yeah, it'll be a year in November. You're getting close.
I mean, look, they even
I'm
have
gonna
a
write
hard,
my name on it.
they even have a hard case in that thing. I mean, that's pretty freaking impressive. If you go back to the Kingsman, it'll show like the hard case. But
yeah.
that was a knife that I decided that I thought was pretty impressive to me. And again, it's not usually my forte, you know, like, and it's not that I don't think Chinese knives are very high quality or even better quality production wise than most things out there. It's just, you know,
It's just what you collect. The
yeah,
other thing, there isn't an ad for every seat. That is
Exactly.
a true state for this knife, this whole knife hobby.
Exactly. Like I have my little theme of what I like to collect, but you know what? I'm very much considering a Riot. I love like the look of the manufacturing and everything that they do.
The moment you do it, the floodgates will open, dude.
I would love to hear your opinion on a Rio.
I would love to hear my opinion on a Riot too. So you guys can send me one. I'll play with it.
I'll send you one.
Yeah?
Sure.
All right. I'm really, really interested because so now we're speaking about Chinese knives. Tom, put me back on camera because I'm going to bring one up right now that
Okay.
I actually do have. And I said a funny story about how I came about buying it.
Hold up.
So
Give me 1 second.
here's what I bought on an auction on Instagram. I don't know if you guys can see that.
I can.
This is the Poltergeist Blade Works Real Steel Knives. Now, this is a Works model, and it was sent back to Jacob at Poltergeist Blade Works. There's only 3 of these that exist. But what he does is he basically takes all the burrs off, puts his own edge on it, just refines the knife. And I bought this knife thinking I was bidding on an actual Poltergeist Blade Works knife, like an idiot. And then I come to find out, you know, it's a real steel. But, you know, I've been carrying this thing because I'm about to do a YouTube video on it pretty soon. And I'm freaking impressed.
Yeah, they're cool.
Really, really, really nice. And it's kind of hard to gauge because, again, this has been done by Jacob from Poltergeist.
Sure.
So, you know, it's...
I have that same model that
the 3001.
Yep.
So now the only thing that I complain about this knife is the action's beautiful, but for me to actually deploy this knife, and I'm usually like a middle finger flicker kind of person, you can see I can't do it. It's so freaking hollow on the inside.
I think he did that particular model for rep as a two-handed opening knife.
Yeah, so I mean I can open it one-handed, but I got to pinch with 2 fingers to get it out, and then I can kind of work the rest of the way out. And he told me this is, I guess, an exclusive version just for like this Polish shop, because I guess the other ones usually have a thumb stud right here.
And there also versions where they don't shave half the knife.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I want one of those versions.
Well, you're definitely like a Riot if you like that. So.
Very cool.
They're nice.
I'd
Nice.
be
Very
really surprised if you didn't like Riot, Alex.
cool. I don't think it's possible.
I'm gonna give it a whirl. I think I'm gonna break the mold and finally give into it. But yeah. So all right, Tom.
You gotta get your
Love
hand. You gotta get your hands on one of Brian's Riots in particular. They were very, very nice.
What I need to get is
I'll
one of
send you
Brian's
one.
customs. I'm looking on the secondary too if I have to. But I want
I would love to see how you feel about your Shiros after you handle a $400 Ria.
Well, we'll talk about that. But
Let me. I say this. I love Shiros. I do. Quality is literally on another level.
yep.
I have questions about where they're made, but that doesn't matter. The knife speaks for itself. And
It does.
it doesn't. It really.
The knife is the knife, no matter where it's made.
Exactly.
But I have heard that too, Levon. I have heard that.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't matter. I'm sure there's a lot of work that's done. Don't
Can
get me
you
wrong.
imagine if that came out? Can you imagine how crazy people would go?
And you know what? That's why it stays the way it is. But I'm talking about knives that we just sold. I just sold a custom division Uni Hottie. I had one of those
You
trade
finally
shows.
sold that one with.
I never even advertised it. I've had the same people bugging me to sell it for a long time. I had crazy offers from China and Russia to purchase that knife. I didn't feel like
Are you
dealing
talking
with
about the Chris Reeves collaboration?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. That was a sweet one, man.
Yeah, it's cool, but are exceptional. I wouldn't recommend an average like if they're buying expensive knives, like don't buy a Shiro. Like it's not even the money is insane. It's like for people who got into high-end production knives, went to custom knives, and went back to high-end production knives. That's who buys a Shiro. It doesn't make any sense if you want to buy a Shiro grow up.
You know what statement got me to buy a Shiro? Well, first I have a couple friends that have like some really crazy ones. My friend James has a custom F7. I mean, dude, he paid 10 grand for that thing, and
More power.
so there's a couple of them that I have a couple friends that kind of got me into them. But there was one statement that
Is that a
somebody.
Ziba?
Yep.
Nice. That's a good Chinese knife. How did I become why huge? I mean, don't answer that.
He said, what?
The Zebas.
I didn't buy this.
Would it fall off a truck?
No, a subscriber of mine donated to me to test.
Oh.
I know nothing of Ziba. I have no idea where this knife comes from or what
He's a
it's.
character. He's a character, man. If you get a chance the next show, I would love to be a fly on the wall with you trying to talk to Michael Ziba.
That would be
Why?
cool.
The dude is a character.
I mean, I'll go talk to him if you'll come stand there.
You'll be talking so close to you, you might even taste the saliva.
I'll be with him if you're standing there.
I will. Yeah, no problem.
I will kiss him square on the lips if you stand there.
You have to kiss his head.
I'll kiss his whole face.
Oh yeah, man.
I will grab his whole face and kiss him.
Oh, dude. They have to escape the conversation, so there's that.
That's how I'll get out of the conversation.
Nah, he's a nice guy. He's doing his own thing, and he's very successful.
Oh, but he's a chode.
No.
Lies.
You ready for the next night, Tom?
Yeah.
Hold on. No. We can go back to that conversation we were talking about. Is he a douche?
Wait, before we go back to the conversation, Tom, screen us all back in.
Oh, are you not right now?
Super douche.
This is a very complicated setup, you guys.
We try and go pretty
Yes.
advanced, you know. Hey, and Levon, guess who takes care of it all?
I can tell.
Yeah.
Girlfriend? Tom's
Yeah.
girlfriend?
Can you guys see it now?
Yo.
Welcome to Tuya Knives.
There you
That's
go.
what this has been. Great advertisement for knives.
Hey, if they want to
Yes.
sponsor us, they can go for it.
No one watches this. It's not an advertisement for anybody.
Hey, we have like 2,500 listens, Steve. I don't want to hear it.
Okay, if you say so. You keep making it.
Steve's like, okay, I get that on one video about Fire and Forge.
Say what?
You're like, yeah, okay, I get that on one video about Fire and Forge.
No, knife guy yells at knife guy, right? Knife guy.
Yes. That's the best way to describe that. Okay, since we're back on the screen, let's go to the next knife.
I have a poltergeist.
So you have to go to Blade HQ for this one, Tom.
Boo.
Pornhub that pop up there.
There we
Yep.
go.
Real Steel G5 Metamorphosis.
You mean this knife right here?
I have one of those too.
Oh,
Great.
no,
I
no,
feel
no.
so good about this.
Oh, no. We're going to the exclusive. The one that's not out yet. But it's going to be at the bottom. There you go.
Fun fact. My buddy sliced his calf open and put 6 stitches in his leg with this knife.
Oh, yeah. I remember that story.
This one. This is the aluminum handle, but
I think I like the aluminum handle better. That's like a crinkled up trash.
I dig this aluminum. I like aluminum handles in general.
I
but
do too. I do too.
I actually think there's nothing wrong with the original version, but this is the one I picked to talk about today. I have one of the original Battle Box ones, that aluminum green one, 14C28N, which is
I
great.
thought you didn't like Chinese knives.
I have some, but I don't buy the higher end Chinese
All
knives.
these Chinese knives, man.
I know, but that's what people want to talk about, you know? If I start talking about, you know, like JD Van Deventer, and you know, our listeners and be like, who the hell is he talking about?
That is
are you assuming the listeners are mostly low class trash like me?
Are you
like,
calling them normies?
No,
You're calling them low class trash like Steve. That's what you're doing. I think our listeners are high class individuals.
you know what? I think our listeners are high class too, and I picked the fucking knives, Steve. So you listen to me and you pick the knives. All right. So this one, instead of 14C28N, we got M390. We got some blue accents, and we got some marble carbon fiber. What do you guys think?
For a low price of $169.
That's the low price.
I think Alex should send me that one, and I can run it against this one at 14C28N, and I'll bet this 14C28N outcuts it.
That would be.
I love Sanic, so
All day.
yeah, it's a great steal. So interesting fact about this knife. I don't know what one you have, Steve. I think the original run of them were on roll bearings. Oh, that one still has needle bearings. Yeah.
Needle bearings.
Yeah, they have needle bearings.
Needle ball bearing.
Yeah, needle ball bearing.
That means they're from the same shop your Gorovs are made.
These?
Shiros are made by real steel.
Oh, that's awesome.
I really do love Shiros though. I'm just putting that out there.
I love it.
I have a few. I think my knife of the year is the well, at least so far. There's a couple of contenders, but the Neon Zero is
That's
up there.
my knife of the year, man.
Oh, dude, seriously good knife.
That is a freaking awesome knife. I did a whole video on that knife, and I called it the perfect EDC.
It's quite good.
It's so good.
But as far as this thing goes, I'd save the money and get the aluminum handled one. What the hell?
I agree, actually. I just thought, you know, it was kind of interesting.
It is. I didn't know it existed.
So it's coming out.
It's a cool variation, but you're right. That marble carbon fiber does look like a crumpled up trash bag.
It's probably just Blade Age is known for their amazing photography.
Yeah.
Look at that.
The washed out blade with the white background.
Yeah, perfect.
Fun fact. I don't understand what's so nice about Shiros.
Hey, so Steve, you were showing off that Michael Ziba, right?
Yeah.
Front flipper. So the guy who collaborated with Michael Ziba to make that front flipper is also the person who collaborated with Real Steel to make this knife.
Well, what's funny is the reason these are both on my table is because they're both going against each other for a cut test. They're literally the exact same knife.
Very nice.
I'll show you this.
Seriously.
No, literally. I had no idea until you just said that. Look at the two knives.
Oh my
Do
god.
you see that? Do you see that?
Yeah.
They're quite literally identical.
So then it makes sense that it's the same designer that did that.
He sold the same design to both companies.
You
Yeah.
go
Probably
look.
the same manufacturer too.
Look at the front. Look at the front.
What?
You see that?
They're the same. The same.
They're the same damn knife. Look at this. Same style, same knife.
Except one's like $100, the other one's like what, $60?
Yep.
I don't know how much either one of these are. The only weird thing about this Zeba is it has no pocket clip, which is odd.
It's a gentleman knife. Clearly, you aren't a gentleman.
I am no gentleman, that's for goddamn sure. Yeah, I don't disagree with you at all. But I mean, these knives are unbelievably similar. That's the reason. And this, okay, so the Zeba is in ABL, which is 13C26, and this is in 14C20.
I like AEBL too.
Yeah, I do too. I like that stuff.
This has carbon fiber handles. This has aluminum. I don't know how much this Zeba costs, but it hopefully doesn't cost much more than this.
Just say around $200, right?
It's a little
Less-
under that. They were like 150, 160 bucks. Those ones.
Too much.
Huge shout out to BJ Knives on Instagram. He's my Croatian brother who sent this to me and gave this to me for no fucking reason at all other than to just test it. So a humongous thank you to him. I have no idea why he did it. He's just a really nice individual.
That is very nice.
That's retardedly nice. That's other.
nice. It's certainly a gift.
Huh?
It's definitely a nice gift.
I have no idea. I have no idea why anybody would do that, but it's crazy nice of him. So thank you to BJ. But yeah, the second I got this is actually Kenny's from In the Pocket that I've had for probably 7 years. When I got these, you can see why I'd want to put these. And what's crazy is
Mine is good.
Mr. Zeba claims 61 HRC on the blade. So we will find out about that. Yeah.
Sounds good to me.
The real steel. I mean, if you're into front flippers, it's a cool little knife.
That's a good one. You know, mine was a gift too. My real steel was a gift from Dave. If you guys listen. I talk about. You guys don't know who he is. If you listen to the podcast, you know who Dave is. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Dave actually sent that one over to us. I ended up giving it to Jake. We like that a lot.
I actually like Dave. He's one of the cool personalities on the podcast.
He's a smart guy.
Yeah.
Is he still out of knives right now? Is he bored of knives right now?
He's a busy guy. He's in he works very, very hard. He goes to school. He's still in it. He's very passionate.
Yeah.
So he yells a lot.
It's not more. He's not a yeller.
No, he's not a yeller.
He's not a Steve.
He's not a Steve for sure.
I don't yell. I'm passionate.
You talk
But
loudly.
he's definitely the hater of the group. I assume is your role.
He's the what?
The hater.
The hater.
Yeah, the hater.
How would you call me a hater, Levon?
There we go. Perfect. That's it.
I'm not a hater. I love the individual.
You guys are all good. I like all of you.
I don't understand why you say that, Levon. I'm a loving individual.
We listen to a reaction.
I'm a loving individual. I don't understand.
Nothing says love like in this day and age a police uniform.
Love has many faces, Levon.
Sure.
Love has many types. Some of it's harder than others. Some of it's tough love.
I feel bad that our audio listeners didn't just see that.
It's a pug.
It's a pug.
No, Gerald just had a lot of bad Taco Bell earlier.
Yo, that pug is vibrating.
Yeah, it's definitely the dog. He's still snoring away.
That's amazing. You guys should clip that together and make it a song.
Do we have a song?
We do need a
Is
song.
that big time? Do we get a song? Is that what we do?
Yeah, I think it's time. I was thinking about that, guys.
Steve, the guy who makes the songs that go on your videos, he could do it.
Talking about Logan? I can
Yeah.
get Logan in.
There you go.
He'll let us do it.
We could do that.
Logan's a savage. The kid makes music like I cry. Like it's just instant. It just
Ready for
flows.
the next knife?
With my
Yep.
tears.
Let me pull this
Please,
up right
let's see this knife.
All right, let's roll. Come on, Tom.
now. I'm clicking as fast as I
I
can.
bet it's
Alex.
Chinese.
What's up?
Definitely going to be Chinese.
It's Italian this time.
Oh, God, no. I'm done. Bye.
Fucking tell me knives.
So it's you could stay on Blade HQ for this one.
This might be good.
Giant mouse,
Oh, God, no.
The Clyde?
the Clyde.
Oh,
Nope.
The Clyde.
Nope.
Micarta. Pick the Micarta one.
They're both Micarta, Alex.
Oh,
It's all
my card.
Can we hold the pub up to the mic? Because that's my feelings on this knife.
Gears and Knives. Shout out to Gears and Knives. Gear Towards Knives. Gear Towards Knives. He's sending me one of these to test, along with a Doug Ritter, the new Hogue knife.
Now, guys, keep in mind because I picked these knives, it's not always a knife that I think is
Yeah.
great. It's
No, you
just
do. That's how I think of you. Is that these are the knives you like.
Yep.
No.
Steve,
no.
remember
Yes.
I just tested that
So-
Shiro F95 and LMAX? I bet that doesn't even hit half.
So I actually have sold all my giant mouses, but it's
Is
a
it
new
giant mouses, giant mice?
Giant mice.
giant
Meese.
mouses.
It's me.
Giant mouses, guys.
Meese.
Meese.
Giant
Oh.
meese.
Giant
I
mice.
actually like. I think this is the only design that I'm like.
Coming this way.
Really?
It looks like it's gonna be fairly light. Does it say there on the specs, Tom, how
No.
much this thing?
I'm going to get a beer.
He blew up. He blew up.
I like a lot of the giant mouse designs, and this is the first one I was like, absolutely not.
I
Yeah.
have never handled a giant mouse knife that didn't have a problem. Whether it was detent fell out of it, or it had horrible pivot tolerances, or God knows what else. But I never handled one that didn't have a problem.
To me, it looks like I'll be holding a brick. It looks
I don't-
terrible.
This looks pretty lightweight. I
Yeah.
almost.
It does look very lightweight.
And look, that's just my opinion. Some of them are nice looking. Can't take that away from them. This one doesn't bad per se.
What's the price on this thing, Tom?
154.
So L-Max, green micarta, the orange I could have done without.
Me too.
Really.
Especially the backspacer.
Yeah, you know.
Aluminum.
Now, my problem with it is the few people I know that have one are all saying it's like 25, 26 thousandths behind the edge with the factory bevel, which for
Well,
a knife
completely.
that small is horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, you would think with a knife that small, you would get a little bit better, and it almost has the same blade profile as like the Burnley Quaken.
Yep.
Yeah, kind
Yes,
Right?
Uh,
I agree.
Kind of looks like a Burnley Quaken.
of similar.
me. Similar.
it has to me. It had more of it definitely has Scandinavian to me. Like I guess that's who designed it. But
Yeah,
Looks like a Puko.
okay,
Yeah.
exactly.
It looks like a Puko.
that's a good example, actually.
Come on, is anybody really debating that? It's a folding Puko. It's exactly what it is.
I think pretty
Yeah,
much what they're going for.
I see that, Steve.
Yeah, it's a folding Puko. It doesn't have a Scandi grind, but
With
it's a
a
fold.
with a it almost it looks like they want a Scandi grind. Might as well based on how thick it behind the edge.
Yeah.
Look at, okay, hold on. Hey, watch this. Hey, Tom, pull up the Spyderco Nanaka. The Nanaka.
Yeah, it does look like the Nanaka.
You mean
It's
the
a nice-
Nalaka?
But Nalaka, that was based on a Puka, so
They're both based on a Puko.
yeah. It's all very Scandinavian looking.
Yeah, it's super Scandi. Uber Scandi.
Oh shit! I didn't
Hello?
realize.
That's what I'm saying. It doesn't. It's of all of the giant mouse ones, I find that one the defensive.
Yeah,
Wow, I feel like Blade HQ took this photo.
I actually like that.
Nalaka is a fucking cool knife, man.
Yeah, I like that. one.
That's a very
Thing's a slicing demon.
it's a sweet knife.
Yeah. Super cool knife. I dug it.
So
Not a fan of the
failed
giant.
attempt by Giant Mouse. That backspacer comes to a point. I think it's going to be a hot spot, especially since it's a small knife. That's going to be
It's a
sitting.
backbreaker.
I think the whole knife itself is a hot spot. The whole thing looks like you're holding a box.
That's generally how I.
What are you
A
talking
lot
about?
of the Italian knives I have are all really not finished beautifully.
Okay, Tom, that handle is not all that dissimilar from a Spyderco Spidey Chef. It's the hump's a little further back, but go pull up
Yeah.
a Spidey Chef. It's
Yeah.
almost got you can't.
I see what you're saying, but down here, like, there's no cutout here for your finger to sit.
You don't need that though, technically.
It's not so much the cutout. Do they put a chamfer on the edge?
Yeah.
On the edge. Yeah. The only chamfer they did is on the actual edge. Probably.
They chamfer the actual edge.
Right.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's like a poor man. It's like a poor man's drunken or a poor man's Spidey
I
Chef.
gotta tell you, people are buying them up like crazy though.
Hey,
Yeah.
Craig.
They sure
Shout-
are.
Jack Farm Boy got one.
Yep.
The black one looks just as bad.
Let me see that one.
Well, I didn't realize that they did red on this one.
It's the vampire one.
Yeah, look, I didn't realize they even have it's a saber ground. Yeah, it's a fucking puko. It's a puko with a hump.
It wants to be a Scandi grind, but it is.
It wants to so bad.
That one looks a
But
little
that-
bit better.
No, it doesn't. Not at all.
Oh,
It's
okay.
Puto.
I would definitely take Carta one if I had to pick a choice, like had to have one.
The orange
Fucking-
kills me.
I love the aluminum parts on it. It looks like the coating is so thick it can't have a hot spot.
Mo cushion foe the pushing.
What we got next, Alex?
All right, next.
The ZT0223.
So I actually like this next one though.
Okay.
It must be 022323.
Oh yeah, dude, I gotta have one of those. Protec Bren 3.
Mm. That is a fucking cool knife, man.
That's a super cool knife. I really like the blade shape of it, the profile.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not sure about the gold, but
It's rose gold. Actually looks really nice in person. It doesn't look like that.
On this
Yeah.
picture, it looks like an M-Tech.
so
Yeah.
look at
Shit
Look at
off
the
of
handle.
Nintendo 64 video game.
It does.
look at the handle, look at the blade. That looks like a very comfortable, usable knife.
It actually is a really cool knife.
That looks
Pictures
like
do not do these any justice whatsoever.
Yeah, I'm
If you
totally
handle the Protec there really well.
I just got
Yeah.
my first Protec. I got an SBR,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
and god damn, is that thing nice!
They're definitely.
It's like when
I
I was
almost
looking, when I was looking over mine for like flaws, I'm like, this is like perfection. I couldn't find one single thing that was wrong with it.
And it might be a little bit hard to see for some of the people if they're looking at this. Because when you look at the picture, you might think it might be a smaller knife, but it's pretty beefy knife.
That's a big boy, that
3
one.
3/4 inch blade.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty good sized knife. And I think that's Walter Brend, right?
Yep.
That's with his design.
Yep.
And that guy makes some cool ass knives too. So I just really appreciate the way that the handle's shaped. I think that looks really comfortable. I haven't had the pleasure of handling one yet, but when I looked at that knife, I thought that was a very cool knife to talk about.
What do you guys think of 154 CM?
I think it's fine.
It's solid.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
Yeah, I like it too.
done with.
Me too.
I think people bitch about it, think it's cheap steel, but I don't think they've ever used it.
Ooh, look at the
I think
touch
that's
on
one of the better user steels up there.
Yeah,
Definitely.
absolutely.
look at the little custom touch they did on that clip. It's their same
Yeah.
clip, but the little milling marks. That looks so cool.
The clip is literally the least interesting part about that knife.
I
Yeah.
understand that. I'm just saying, like compared to like that's like their normal clip, but they did a little bit of different work. They went like Spyderco, but not full Spyderco.
It's nice. I'm sorry. I forget not on my show. I can't people.
No, it's fine. You fit right in here if you do.
So like I always thought that was cool that they always do these crazy, intricate, high end.
Oh, they're art knives. That is
They
they know how to they know what they're doing.
and they do
Stainless
that,
frame and everything on that.
dude. That engraving that they do on some of them. Who you probably know who does that engraving? Who does that for
Who
them?
does their have an in-house guy, I think.
Uh,
Yeah, they have a guy that does everything.
Yeah,
I mean,
Everything they do is in-house.
Oh, it's Bruce Shaw.
Did you guys see? You guys saw the Pro Tech they did for Shabazz?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was all totally in house.
That's wild, man.
This one was done by Bruce Shaw. I see he does a lot of the engraving
Yes,
stuff.
I think Bruce Shaw only does the ones they do for shows.
So I have a Shaw ProTech TR2 with the Scollins in the inside. I think it's made out of sterling silver.
Silver. Yeah.
That's freaking wild.
He
That was
cast
the
those.
first auto one I ever bought, and I've had that knife for almost 4 years. It doesn't skip a beat. It's badass.
They're very good.
So that was something I thought was pretty notable, and that was one that I like.
Definitely a nice choice.
And then I like to pick like one maker that's a little bit less common to the average. I did pick a South African knife maker for the last one.
All
So
right.
Tom, go to Blade Gallery. This is a great place to shop if you're into South African knife makers, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
And go to
Partially serrated bench aids.
yeah.
The worst flipper known to man, the
Yeah, that's
Benchmade 300.
Yeah, that is a very bad flipper.
So this
Garbage.
guy,
It's horrible.
this custom knife maker I'm about to bring up is I've been chatting with him a little bit too. He's really a nice guy, and I just wanted to give him a little bit of love. The company is called Three Leg Dog.
It's
It's
correct.
like logo, just the cover of Alice in Chains album. Am I the only one who understands that? Maybe.
No, it would be the cover of a Godsmack album, not an Alice in Chains.
But it wasn't. But it was an Alice in Chains album.
Three-legged dog.
Is this what I'm looking for, Alex?
Yes.
There's an album cover. What one is it? Hold on 1 second.
Pull it up.
Yeah, I don't know why I can't think of the name because I'm in knife mode, not metal mode.
Getting
So,
bored.
these are his knives. I mean, click on any one of them, Tom.
Those look good.
They're very nice. I think he's really good at blending G10 with pretty much about anything.
LMAX at 19 to 15 Rockwell. I like it.
Yeah, he always advertises his Rockwell hardness on his blade.
19 to 15.
I was joking, Alex.
Oh,
No,
I was like,
if you flip to the other side of the blade.
Mm,
Okay, go out. His older knives used to do that. He used to say whatever.
it says 61 down here in the
I'm
description.
so stupid. That Alice Chains album is called Grind.
yeah, Ryan.
Grind. It's
Yeah.
it's their debut album. It's not called. It's called Alice in Chains, but it's got a
Click
three
on that.
log on it.
Tom,
Which one?
The first.
the tan.
Look at that.
Go on the backside. See, that one shows it.
Yeah, 61 HRC.
So yeah, this guy is pretty cool dude. If you contact him, he will, work with you, do what you want. I'm not a big fan of G10 pocket clips myself,
That
but
looks
I've
cool.
his work really well.
Oddly enough, I mentioned this on the last episode of my show, but one of the best pocket clips I have is a 10 pocket clip on an Olmec Wayfarer.
Huh.
Of all
Really?
things. Yep.
Oh, I'm at it.
So I actually really like what he's doing. Design-wise, he's got some nice hardware to it. And, for the style of knife and the materials you're getting, I mean, I think this one was $500, Tom? Is that what that
Yep,
says?
500.
I mean, that's pretty damn good.
Are those coated liners on there?
Are they what?
Sure does look
Are
like
they-
it.
Looks like coated the liners.
Yes.
Pretty cool. Cool.
On that one in particular, yeah.
Internal stop pins. Ooh.
Internal stop pins.
I like
Can you
this one.
click? Can you do? Yeah, click on another one. I'm curious.
So that's kind of his newer thing. He's doing this vertebrae cutout, and then if
Like
you
the
follow,
picture frame cutouts in the frame.
yep.
Mm.
And then if you follow him on Instagram, he does this really cool thing. Obviously, you have to be in South Africa to do it, but if you happen to be in the neighborhood, he does these knife grinds like every week, I think. And like all people who want to can join in and make a knife with him.
Hmm.
And he always posts pictures of him making knives with all his customers.
That's super cool.
That's super cool. Guy's really nice.
What is
Uh,
GR6 titanium? Oh, grade 6.
What's that?
Nothing. Stupid question.
GR6 titanium.
Grade 6.
Yeah, grade 6.
I don't know if exactly what that is. I'm not a
Because-
metallurgist.
Isn't 6LA AL4V like grade 5?
It depends who you ask. Yeah, usually it's grade 5, grade 6. But they're South African. Who the fuck knows what their grade 6 is?
It looks
So he
cool.
works-
Dingo ain't got baby. Like who
I like
knows?
I like that one. It
Yep, I like it too.
looks nice.
Yep. So, for those people who are asking, I want a custom knife, but I want to spend $1,000, that
There
might
you
be
go.
a pretty good choice for you guys,
I'm not crazy about the religious imagery in his logo, but
And I'm not crazy about, he's got big torques here for the body screws and tiny, tiny, tiny torques for the pivot.
it is odd.
That's
That is-
That's very weird. Well, I'm used to the South Africans using tiny hardware to begin with, but I've never seen that. Why are the body screws like T10?
This is like,
Yeah.
I'm going to have to ask him that. That's a very
that's like
good...
T4. That thing's tiny.
At least just put one fucking type of screw in your knife.
Yeah.
Like, is it that hard?
He's pulling a hinderer.
Yes.
That's
You-
that's
You
that's,
need
that's
18
weird.
screwdrivers to open my knife.
What does the other side look like?
Well,
Can you-
funny, Tom,
can you
because
pull
I
that-
only need one. I only need one to open my hinders.
Oh,
Hey,
shut up.
Go down to click on the video, Tom. Let's see what it looks like when they're funneling and flipping this thing.
Maybe it's just an optical illusion.
It would be one hell of an optical illusion.
Of course,
You know,
it'd be
No,
chopped.
no. Look at the size. That's like a 12.
What
That's
about
like
the
body screw. What the hell?
look like? What's the other side look like? That's bigger. Look.
Thing.
It's
No,
not.
that looks
Thick blade stock.
Ooh, did you
The
hear
other
that thing? Damn.
Is it real thick?
how thick? Like cock thick?
Yeah.
Mm. Yeah, it's a big boy.
That's pretty thick.
It doesn't look that though.
I thought that was pretty cool knife.
It is the only weird thing is why would you do a small pivot?
I-
What? Okay, how many knives do you buy out there that have a larger pivot and smaller body screws? His has larger body screws.
Quite a few. That's Norman. I think that's annoying too. But I
There's
just-
South African. He's going backwards, man. Big body hard. It doesn't mean that the actual bolt that's going through there is actually small, just because the pivot's keyed smaller.
yeah, I agree. with that, But the amount of torque that you need for a larger pivot, you'd assume you'd want to use a larger
You don't need a lot of torque.
bit.
Let's look at one of his other knives because I think he has different hardware on different
And I would be fine if he just went away for every body screw.
Would you look at that? They're all the same.
like
So
that. All
a
the same.
large pivot is. I mean, the amount of torque is minuscule compared to a
Yeah,
body screw.
I guess.
No?
God, the amount of blending he does with the G10s is awesome.
That's what I was impressed with.
Yeah, it looks good.
Damn.
So
You're making
that
me
is-
want to get one, Alex.
Those
that's,
are good sized screws.
I
that
think
same
for the price, it's going to be a good knife, man.
All the screws are same size. Torques all the same.
The only thing that the only screw you're ever going to need on there is generally the pivot if they did it right. And the chances of like a smaller pivot is probably higher
Yeah.
because the people wrench down on things days.
The other thing I don't like about it is like all the billboarding that he's got going on, and it looks like he used the same font as ZT does on all their stuff.
I don't like the there's too many words. It does look like it's not even if it's not the font, it's the paragraph layout.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Just Jesus. That is a list of stuff.
They write the Blade HQ description for their blade on their blade.
And why didn't he put the logo like on the
Up
flag?
here, yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that too. I'm gonna have to tell
I'm not to shit on Blade here. I like the knife.
No, you're shitting. Go ahead, keep shitting.
I want you guys to give an honest opinion. That's what this whole thing's all about.
Continue the shit, Levon. Shit freely.
Shit
We want you to
freely.
shit.
Let me see
Shit.
this one's nice.
I like this one.
Yeah, that one's blended with wood.
The pivot.
Click on that one with the harpoon blade, Tom.
He's got baby pivot too.
Baby pivot.
And it's undersucked a little too much there.
They seem to be.
All the way over to
Oh
the
yeah,
right.
let's see that one with the gear pattern.
Ooh, that's cool.
There we go.
The 2 gear patterns going on is neat.
That's cute.
Yeah, but look at that flipper tab. You guys Tom will bitch up a storm. That'll tear his finger up.
Yeah, the jimping's too big.
Look at the jimping. It'll tear Tom's little baby finger up. Tear that shit in your asshole. You don't want to touch that, Tom. That's serious. That's man jimping, Tom. You don't want no man jimping.
I don't know why the jimping is there. The flipper tab's big enough. You don't really need it, but
Yeah.
it does. It's very distinctive, you know.
This is
It's
true.
very distinctive. Is that like the knife version of saying she's got a nice personality?
Basically.
It's distinctive.
It's only when you're thinking about flipper tabs in particular.
Say what?
When you're about flipper tabs in particular.
Yeah.
I'm just.
It's interesting to me that instead of like countersinking the screws, he just milled little cutouts for the screws to sit further down.
Like, fuck, I'm gonna take some more of this meat off.
Well, that is the last knife I have for you guys.
I dig that one.
Look at those. Look at that fucking shark tooth flipper tab. Oh man, he's got to stop that.
I'm gonna mute your ass, Steve.
Bitch up a storm. Ugh. Look at those. So aggressive. So aggro.
And we're not even into the main topics yet, guys.
What's the main topic?
Let's hit this main topic.
Is it past my bedtime yet? What time is it? Jesus. No.
Dude, we go for like 3 hours.
So good, Levon.
Dude, look, he's making a dig at Tom already about bedtime.
I know. I'm always the one that goes first.
It's okay. Are you eating dinner yet, Tom? You good? You
No,
fed?
I ate some dinner before just for you, Steve.
That's what
Oh, nice.
you're squishy. You're squishy.
That's a shirt we still gotta make.
Squish,
Yeah,
squish.
squish.
We still
So-
gotta
Is that like a hand vagina? What was
yes.
That's exactly
So-
what that is.
So I tried to make that shirt and I googled hand vagina clip art and believe it or not, nothing came up.
that? You guys into old school professional wrestling? That was Diamond Dallas Page.
The DDP, bro.
Diamond cutter. Yeah.
Diamond cutter. You hit him with the bah.
Yeah.
That's where the Stone Cold Stunner came from, man.
1%.
All day.
So today's topic that I wanted to
You know Diamond Dallas Page does yoga now, right?
what?
DP
Yeah.
yoga.
He's
very
a serious yoga guy now. Yeah. Huge.
No.
very
Yeah.
respected in the yoga community too.
Crazy. Yeah. Like
But
he changed people's lives.
Can he do the pro?
He can do it all.
He literally can do it all.
He can do crow, downward dog, tree position,
At the same
Diamond
time.
right on the floor. And you'll be right there. He will diamond cutter you in the middle of a tree pose.
I have a lot of respect for Diamond Dallas Page.
I will buy his workout video.
You should.
And
All
then
right.
do it live on the next podcast.
Yes. So today's first topic I wanted to discuss, since a lot of us have been in the knife collecting game for a little bit, I wanted to give our listeners some shopping advice on the secondary market. I thought that'd be a fun topic to talk about. When you're shopping on the secondary market, what to do's and what not to do's. So, Tom, kick us off, buddy. When you're shopping for a knife, what exactly do you do?
So I normally look. I stay away from Facebook, for one.
Why?
I hate the Facebook knife community. It's terrible.
Okay.
It's
Why?
I have ran into more, like I've seen more horror stories of scammers on Facebook than anything. Anybody can join it. It's free for one.
Why?
What do you mean why? I just gave you a bunch of reasons.
Okay.
So I
So-
I like Blade forums, and the one that I've liked the most recently is Reddit. Reddit's been very good.
Okay.
Instagram is good too, but I think it's a little bit harder to find what you're looking for.
I've actually I've been told by a lot of people that Instagram's the place to go when it comes to buying knives on the secondary.
Maybe like real high end stuff. That's probably the case.
Maybe.
It depends. There's a lot of I get into it with a lot of guys trying to trying to scout guys on Instagram. Instagram is such a wide audience. You have so many people. Like you won't see anyone posting a River's Edge Para 3 for $450 on Blade Forums because no one's gonna or especially Reddit.
Yeah.
No one's gonna put that shit over there. You will see that on Instagram's like. I hate Blade forums, and I can't stand Reddit because it's so goddamn complicated, and I'm so fucking stupid. But
Your simple mind can't comprehend it.
yeah, Reddit would be the place to go. They don't fuck around. You need timestamps. Shit's got to be relevant. If it doesn't sell and you repost, you got to drop it by 10%. Whereas Instagram and Blade Forum, I mean, you can throw shit. I mean, Blade Forums is Instagram. You can throw a Para 3 out there for $800. And hope that some 14-year-old kid with too much money will find it, and they will. You know what I mean? Where it's not regulated. Like Reddit is probably your best bet.
I've never seen anything for sale on Reddit. Like, here's what I don't think I would ever to buy any high-end knives. Usually the discussions I've found on there are a lot of users. You post. I know a neighbor of mine. He's a listener of the program. He goes on Reddit all the time. And he'll post something up because he's excited about it, and they'll give him for buying an expensive. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you got the people like that, and then you have the high end collector market inside.
It's like you don't have to buy it for you to buy. You know what I mean? I agree. I mean, I don't have many experience with Reddit from a knife perspective. I also try to discourage buying custom knives on the secondary as often as I can.
Yeah.
To really know who you're getting it from, or know, because you're just gonna, or another knife that you like, because there's tons of knives out there. Go buy it direct from the maker. You found some great stuff, just getting around on Blade Gallery. Like I never heard of that. There's just many cool things you can get for reasonable money. It doesn't make sense to pay ridiculous prices to anybody.
Like a Shamwari.
Bingo.
Or a Spectre.
Yep.
Oh, the Spectre.
And a Spectre and both of those knives are actually knives that I'm chasing right now. But I'm sitting tight because there's no way I'm gonna pay $2,000 for a Shamwari. There's no way I'm paying $1,500 for a Spectre.
And that bubble has to pop eventually.
Yeah.
Just like the
definitely
Hinderer
will.
bubble back however many years ago that was.
I don't know if that bubble's gonna pop. I mean, not anytime soon. It's just
the whole make one knife, dude. One knife.
Mm-hmm.
They make that. I'm not even gonna get into the whole stuff.
Why? Get into it. Come on. No, Levon, come on. Get into it. Get into it.
You know what? I'm not trying to take the wind out of anyone's sails, but remember how I mentioned that. I just expect if you make one thing knife, like your production company, they're really a small production company. They have a CNC. It's the same thing that Brian does and in this thing. And this is my experience. It may not be everybody else's. Literally every single one They have the pivot tolerances of any custom knife I have ever seen in my life. That knife is going to fail. Like you can once you unlock it, you can just move the whole blade around pivot, fore and aft and forth.
Oh,
Whoa.
really? Because
Bad.
well, I had one in that somebody sent in for testing, and it was like a bank vault. It was super super solid.
But on another note, my buddy has one that the lock bar insert bolt stripped, and I heard that's a big thing with those things.
A lock bar insert bolts. Who the fuck is going after the bolt on the lock insert?
Because so the detent is adjustable on those things, and people have been messing with them, and they strip it very easy.
The D10 is because they run like what a D10 like Brian has.
Right.
It's not really meant to be adjusted.
It's like a detent, like a
They say
bar instead of a ball.
You're not supposed to touch it.
Exactly, and that's the problem. Is a lot of people are messing with them. And
Why is it adjustable if you're not supposed to adjust it?
That's a good question.
I think what I got the answer to that one. I think the reason that's the way it is for the maker to adjust. Once the knife is tuned, I think you're supposed to leave it alone.
No, because your detent ball can be adjusted by the maker at the factory. Every maker does that. That's not accessible to the
system that they use.
I agree. That's a fair point. I think that even after the fact, without having to like take the ball out or whatever, you can adjust since the it's not a separate piece. Detent is on the insert.
Mm-hmm.
So they can just move the insert around and say, look, it's an adjustable detent. They're passed as a feature.
And I've seen one of those with a messed up strip bolt on a lock bar sell for like $1,000 still.
All right, look, I wish them all the best and everything. That is definitely what I would consider a hype knife.
Yeah.
Everybody has, and their mom needs to have one, and
I want to buy one, but I want to buy one for $700. So what
I wouldn't spend any more than that.
Yeah, I'm just going on the lotteries, and I'm okay with spending $700 for a Spectre.
The one that was sent to me, the guy said he paid $500 for it. I'm like, that is a hell of a price for it.
That used to be the price.
Yeah.
And then now they bumped up to $700 as their base one because they said that, that I'm not making any money.
Someone explained to me, right? Like literally, like in a technical aspect, the differences between that Holt Spectre and a $450 Riot.
Well, technical differences. I mean, one being made in a garage probably, and the other one is being with unlimited reaches in China.
Okay, it's being made in a garage. I get that, but I'm talking tolerances.
The Riot's better. It's a better nut. Every Riot is better than a Holt Spectre, bar none.
Okay, there we go. That's what I'm trying to say. That's what I don't understand, because handling a lot of these higher end, I'm finding a hard time finding that dividing line between some of these $1,000, $2,000 customs, other than the fact you're buying from a custom maker. I get that. But the ones that are, let's say we're doing CNC, right? We're using the CNC machine. Nothing's wrong with that. What I'm saying is where a lot of the high-end CNC production knife game is now versus where it was 5 years ago, there's a real fine gap between production and custom. And I
100% agree with that.
And the price gap is still huge. So like what you're paying for, and again, I'm not knocking anyone's work. I'm not saying any custom makers are doing shit work. What I'm saying is that these production companies are doing such good work that it's up there with custom work, but the price gap is humongous.
Well, you're 100% right. And I was talking to somebody about biggest one is Grimsmo. They've been touting that same knife for how long, and on every at least on a bi-monthly, maybe even bi-weekly basis, someone DMing me saying, "Oh, hey, my name came up on the Norseman books. Do you want it?" And I'm like
yep.
No, dude. The standard for a CNC custom has to be way higher, at least in my book. I mean, everybody has their own. I should preface everything. This is my opinion. I'm not here to tell people what to buy and what not to buy. This is just the way I do things. As far as CNC maker, I like that thing to be really perfect. You know what I mean? There's a lot of CNC makers that are not in that category and touch it with a 10-foot pole. So I think you're right. There's a different level of, like Brian, for example, me is in that category. I think of CNC makers, I don't think you can touch his work. I think he's literally at the top of that.
But the top, he's the bar.
He's the bar. Tell him, convincing him to have Riot make his knives, make his production knives was a big deal. You know, that's a lot for Riot's production level. And he came over. I had him handle a whole bunch of. I was like, you gotta go, Riot. If you're gonna do it. There's no way you're gonna be happy with any but Riot.
Yeah.
I know this wasn't quite about Riot, but in terms of what Steve, I think the bar has to be held higher for a CNC custom.
Yeah, you get what I'm saying? Like, it just seems like the bar, and again, this is a recent development, like in the last 5 years, what a production company, like a Riot, can do.
Or even a share, like that. If you've Spectre and you've handled the Neon Zero, the Neon Zero is a superior knife.
Oh yeah.
But in every aspect.
Yeah.
That's not, it just the level of production has just come so far. Like, especially when I was watching Blade this year, you're looking at these knives and you're like if I was a custom maker, right, and I was in, doing CNC and I was really into these tight tolerances like rims was, I'd be shitting on myself right now.
They are, dude. 100%.
You could pull any
the maker of that.
A Riot or even a high-end Wii knife, or even a high-end Kaiser off the shelf, and you're within really small striking distance of any of these high-end custom. You know what I'm saying? If that makes sense.
There are very few custom knives that I aspire to own. And if I do, it's, and look, it's not saying that there's not a lot of talented people there. It's just if I buy something, it's got to mean something more than this thing is pristine. You know what I mean? It is what it is. It's got to speak to me on a different level.
That's what I'm saying. Like, if you, for instance, and again, I'm a fan of what he does. Like Ray Laconico, he's a big hot designer right now.
So his new design, he has that new one, dude. I forgot what it was. It looks insane. I forgot what that's called.
Like, and again, I haven't handled his custom, and I would love to ask Ryan, because Ryan picked up one of his customs. But if you looked at, like, let's say, again, we're talking tolerances, we're talking machining work, we're talking all that kind of stuff, and you're looking at his Easy C, right?
You guys see that one? That was sick.
Yeah, he did. So, okay, here we go. For instance, you take that, right, and you take a Wii Keen, right?
Keen.
I mean, you know what I mean? Like, you're looking. I mean, you're getting. I mean, you can get a Keen. You can get a Laconico Keen from Wii for $150, and then you're looking at a Laconico Custom. That one you pointed to right there. That gap is small.
I don't. Here's my rules for customers that do production knives. They should never do a 1-to-1 version of their custom knife as a production knife. There has to be, aside from the idea that in some instances the production knife could and will most likely be better in a lot of ways. It just also deteriorates the magic around the custom knife.
Yeah, heard.
You know, as far as custom production knives that I want, the only ones out there that I'm eyeing to have another one of, Deadlock. A Hawk Knives Deadlock.
Yeah, I have one of those too.
It's cool.
Deadlock.
Mm-hmm.
They're geniuses. Shout out to the Hawks, the geniuses. Knife lock geniuses.
Kevin's a great guy.
That reminds me, so I had an Orbit for a while that I really enjoyed.
I still have.
And then I was listening to your podcast, and you were telling me about, or you were saying in the podcast where, like, the guy was, like, looking at your doorknob to see, like, how...
So can you guys see where we are right now?
Yeah.
All right. So this is one of the doorknobs in my house. It is literally a latch, and that's only the door. Everywhere else is just old iron craziness. So yes, that was a thing. It was looking at all my doorknob.
So that just tells you a lot about the guy. Like,
Right.
His brain is just like in this mode, like he wants to create something, you know. And it's
He's the real deal.
yeah, those guys. I mean, they're amazing. Like and the deadlock, from what I understand, and correct me if I'm wrong, is the only OTF that I've heard that has no blade play whatsoever. It's fully
It's
locked.
called the deadlock. Yep.
So that's a
I
pretty-
had a prototype, and that was he made a first 14, and I had it to sell it because it's like I have a prototype deadlock air with a Damascus blade and ruby inlaid into the grooves. What the hell am I going to do this? I sold it. I want to get one I can actually cut. It was an amazing thing, and I loved it, but I couldn't carry it. And it was at the very beginning of that engineering idea. He's since simplified the mechanism. You're encouraged to take it apart and clean it and put it back together.
wow,
Yeah, it's very impressive.
very cool, very cool.
Ray Crow,
Yeah.
the deadbolt.
The price is reasonable. I mean, I know like some people listening out there and be like, holy shit, but honestly, for what you're getting, like 12, 13, 1400 bucks it's pretty screaming deal for
It's a masterpiece. It is.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, even if you guys watch YouTube, there's a guy I'm a real big fan of. His name is Advanced Knife Bro. Love the guy. I talk to him all the time too.
He sucks.
He actually just, he usually doesn't buy expensive stuff, but he's actually on the list to get a deadlock.
Yes, he is.
So, I mean, that says a lot. I think that'll be the first knife that Mark spends that much money on.
It definitely is. That was a big decision for him.
Yeah.
No more Ganzos?
Oh, I'm sure there'll be plenty of those too, man.
Come on, man. I need to see you take a condor and chop a log in half. Let's go.
Dude, I love that guy's videos. He's the best.
He's literally the only knife reviewer I still watch.
Yeah, me too.
I don't review knives. You should watch my videos.
I'll watch your videos. Shut up.
Watch one. Just watch one.
I'm gonna subscribe to everybody's shit tonight.
Just one. Just one. You don't even subscribe. Just
All
so I'm gonna get a T-shirt made that says Levon watched my video. It's already gonna happen. You can watch two. I'm gonna put Levon watched two videos.
Oh God.
The real thing is gonna happen.
Flattery will get you everywhere.
I'm gonna put your eyeball
Right on the nipple. Hey, you should just cut out my mouth then.
Jesus. Steve, I'm gonna get you a shirt that has two clip art nipples right over where the nipples are supposed to be.
Where do you get clip nipples?
I'm sure it's not that difficult.
We can internet. Come on, we can find clip
We've
art
all
nipples.
seen your search history, so.
It's a real thing. It's a real thing.
It is.
I want clip art nipples.
I gotta go
Okay.
read real quick. Continue.
Where you going? You get beer? Who's drinking? You getting more drink?
Get some scotch, and then I'm gonna go check on my 2-year-old.
Are you pulling pubes out your mouth? What are you doing? Why does it keep reaching toward?
He held his mic up to his mouth, Steve. Jesus.
Was he snacking before the show? Is that what he was doing?
This is a good time for me to go refill my bridge. I don't know why I'm fucking thirsty.
There you go. You
Go
refill your
for it.
water up here. Everyone's refilling.
Go
I'll be
for
right
it.
back.
Tom, you gotta refill your drink?
What?
You gonna refill your drink?
I could go get one, yeah.
You should be drinking. It's a lot more fun during the podcast.
I bet it is. I slur my words, though. I feel like that's not good for a podcast.
Just drink more. You won't slur your words. Rex 45.
Yeah. I haven't tried that yet.
Rex is titties.
Haven't had it. I had somebody on the Reddit Discord the other day had one up for sale. And I was like, hey, man, how much you want for it? He's like, I don't know. It's been lightly used, sharpened once. I'm like, all right. So how much? He goes, throw a price out. I'm like, I don't know what they're going for. Well, how much you want? He goes, how about $350? I'm like, how about no?
How about you suck a dick and die? How about that?
I was like, I was thinking more like $150.
You go fucking fuck yourself.
Yep. I told him, I was like, yeah, I was more like $150, and he just never responded. I'm like, okay.
Faster than mine.
When these came out, they were about $1.40.
Yep.
Okay. Anything over, I wouldn't pay anything over $1.60, $1.70 max, like maximum.
Yep.
Fuck that. I mean, I dyed the scales, and I fucking acid washed the blade. This was actually my very first pair of 3. That's why I still have it.
It's a nice knife. I like the Para 3.
It's a good knife. It's a good little knife. I wish they would have made. I don't understand why Spyderco does a distal taper on a pocket knife. Personally,
Yeah.
I don't understand it. I think a pocket knife's a pocket knife, and they should keep the stock thickness all the way to the tip, and then just grind it well.
Yep.
But distal tapers for a kitchen knife.
I think the taper is nice at the tip, like just at the very tip, but everything from there should be the exact same.
Yeah, I don't get it. I don't understand why companies do that. Like, especially with this. Like, this is compression lock's pretty robust. It's G10 custom line. It's a good, for a 3-inch knife, it's got some oomph. You could beat on it. Just why would you make it so thin at the tip?
Or if you want to make it thinner at the tip, just grind a swedge in.
Yeah, I'm not saying I'm gonna pry on a pair of 3. I'm just saying, like, I do dumb shit with knives, and a lot of people do. So why wouldn't you just make it? Just keep. I mean, it's not even that thick stock to begin with. Just keep it the whole way. You know what I mean? And it would be more of a. You can keep stock thickness all the way to the tip, and then grind thin. It's
exactly.
Not. I can say that because I've made knives now, so I know it's not that hard. It's totally feasible.
Is that the Gonzo?
Is that the Gonzo?
Oh my
god.
Yep.
Here it is. God. That is totally a Sebenza.
It is definitely a
Sebenza. Sebenza with G10.
With G10.
Levon, you're a fucking commie.
Oh yeah.
You fucking...
That's why I'm wearing red.
You fucking commie.
What is that? An XM18?
This? Yeah. Ooh, hold on, wait for it. Watch this. Look.
My least favorite knife.
Cool.
Hold. Take a guess what that's running on.
Plastic washers.
Yep. Teflon.
That's when they're the best, I think.
Look,
as much as everybody wanted bearings and stuff in them, I think they're best on Teflon.
0. I could put this thing in I'm going to put this in a block and twist it. This thing is 0 play.
Fuck you.
We have one at the shop. It's a Gen 4, and it made me consider buying it because it's a Gen 4. And then I was playing around with it. Yeah. The Gen 4, I think the Gen 4 is better. And
this is a Gen 6.
I don't like the Gen 6.
This is a Gen 6 and does the same thing as my Gen 4.
But, I don't know. I seriously think I had a bad one.
And also, we were talking about knives that we bought earlier. This has happened since the last podcast.
Is that, what grind is that?
This is a Sparrow.
That's the Monkey Edge 3V.
Yes, it is. Look at all
I saw that fret pattern.
Yeah.
I saw one for sale for $1,000 yesterday.
Yeah, I didn't pay even close to that.
The Sparrow grind is cool.
A gentleman sent me this for toughness testing, and I kind of was like, "Hey, if you ever want to sell this guy, let me know." This gentleman, Knives in Action. Shout out to Knives in Action on Instagram. He uses all his knives. This is a 100% user. 100%. He's beating on this thing all day long. And he was like, well, I used it a lot. I would totally sell that to you for $3.
Oh.
What?
Yeah. So, my XM18, my fatty, my Warncliffe,
mm-hmm.
I sold that to Sharp Thinking for $3, and then I bought it. Just turned around and sent it right to him.
Good deal.
You know what I've been considering buying is that Spartan Blades Payless.
Look.
That's
Let me
cool
explain something. Hold on. Let's explain something about that. I spent 45 minutes, maybe more, talking to the 2 owners of Spartan Blades at Blade Show. Okay? The reason, if you guys go to Nero Knives,
mm-hmm.
Nero Knives has a palace. They gave him that palace at Blade Show when me and him were talking to them. Okay? He's actually sending that palace to me so I can do some tests on it. Those 2 guys are hella. I think they were like special forces, if I remember what they were saying. They both were in like the Green Beret. Those 2 dudes build knives like to be like indestructible. The heat treat, the machine that goes into the handles, the button lock, the whole nine, the heat treat they put on their knives, they're triple tempered double cryoed.
Yep.
The last temper that's on those knives is actually a gas. It's a negative oxygen environment. They go through a hell of steps to make those knives, and they're 100% made in the U.S. Man, they are. I support Spartan Blades. Like, I didn't even know who they were until I walked up to that booth and started looking at their knives and then started talking to them. I would highly recommend getting a Spartan Blade. Just off
Interested in that Harsey design.
Yeah, the
The
Harsey is cool.
I like the Harsey.
the Harsey is sick. The Harsey's like a Frankie did a video on a Harsey recently, and he put it really well. It's like a Sabenza and a Hinderer, but the best of both worlds, kind of. Is kind of how he described it. It's a hella knife, sick knife, and really well, like it's made to be used. Even though a lot of them are really ornate, you know, and they do a lot of grind work and milling work on them and stuff like that. They're really, really, really well made. That's what really impressed me.
Well, Harsey's a legend in the industry. I mean, that guy's been around forever.
100%.
Ever and ever and ever. He's pretty well known dude.
The only thing I'm worried about with the Payless is that it's still probably a little thick behind the edge. It looks pretty thick.
I'm sure. Well, you got again.
It's like in the same vein as Hinderer. They're not going to be thin.
Exactly. Like, it's purpose built. They're not gonna put. They're not if they're intending this for soldiers to fucking pry door frames open. They're not gonna make it, 15 thousandths behind the edge.
Right.
So I get. You know what I mean? Like, it is what it is. You know what I mean? If you're looking for a super thin knife, I wouldn't buy that knife. But if you're looking for USA made,
As Doug Marcaida would say, it will cut.
it will cut, it will kill. I promise you. Like, it was just cool talking to those guys because the amount of passion they had for what they did, and the amount of time and the effort I think they said something like with their blades, like the process where they send them to. It's a facility that also they do stuff like airplane turbines because their process keeps the blades so flat, like their tolerances are so tight. I think they said within they've done 40,000 blades and they've had like 7 that were not flat out of the whole process. So yeah, so if I'm remembering correctly, so they just everything, just a lot. When anytime a maker, anyone takes that much time and that much pride to do something because they want it done right, it means a lot just to me personally. You know what I mean? When it to me,
Yeah.
I'm starting to look at you like that hat and those set of glasses are just normal.
Yeah, it just fits on you. It really does.
Can you see the sparkles in the hat? I mean, is it showing up right?
Oh yeah, is that a zipper hat?
Wow.
I want you to know that when I went to buy this hat, I picked up a police hat, and then I took one step and I looked down and there was this hat and it said "Sexy Police." So I'm pretty sure this is a girl's hat. So that's why I bought it. That's why it has the sparkles.
Oh my god, I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, there's sparkles, bro. This is glamorous.
Jesus.
Look now. Come on, you know me. I'm not gonna do anything half-assed. Come on.
So we've established that Instagram is a great place to shop,
Yes,
right?
Yes.
So is that where most of you guys are shopping for knives? Because I actually have never bought a knife off Instagram. I actually have bought a few off Facebook.
Me too. I've bought a ton off Facebook.
I've been on the Facebook groups for a long time, and what you said, Tom, is completely accurate. There's a lot of people there that will try to there's a lot of scammers. There are, and you have to be real careful. But then there's a lot of those guys, like I have a buddy, I don't know if you guys know who he is, but he's on Instagram and Facebook and all over the place. He's like a higher end collector. His name is Roman Sator. And Roman like is the guy I buy from on Facebook a lot. That's where I got my Sigma from. And so like the cool thing I like about Facebook is that since I've been on those groups for like years, I can say, well, why don't you throw me a few vouches? And if I see my buddies go on and say, hey, I know this guy's good, I've done business, you have legit vouchers.
Yeah.
I had a guy trying to buy my Orbit before I sold it to someone else tell me, oh, I got all these from Instagram. He's like, hey, I really want to buy your Orbit. I got a bunch of vouchers, and he had a bunch of random people who I don't know tell me, "Oh, this guy's good to go," and I'm like, "Well, how the fuck am I supposed to trust that, man? Like, I don't even know who these people are." So my question is how do you guys make that determination that somebody's legit on Instagram when you buy something?
So, I guess for me, I bought a lot off of Instagram, or not Instagram. I never mind. I was talking about Facebook. You had me on Facebook, so I was thinking about Facebook.
Yep, Facebook, it's easy because if you've been in the group for a while, you can ask a bunch of people, "Is this guy legit?"
Yeah. See,
I bought off Instagram, and that's like I said, the reason why you gotta proceed with caution with Instagram. Here's one of my biggest, most recent issues with Instagram. Fucking kids.
Oh
Okay?
yeah,
There are lots and lots of fucking kids. And when I say kids, I mean fucking 14 or 15-year-old kids that all you see is their hand, finger fucking a knife. You have no fucking clue how old these guys are. And what ends up happening is you end up talking to these people like you think they're grown adults. You end up sending them money. And what ends up happening is they end up fucking something up. And then they turn around and go, "I'm sorry, my mom didn't get to the post office fast enough. Or she didn't put insurance on it.
Yep.
She didn't do this." That's my issue with Instagram is you don't know who these people are. So I take what Alex just said, get Rex. Ask them to get people to vouch for them. Because I've had people hit me up probably on a daily basis. "Hey, you know so-and-so? They said you can vouch for them." Yes, absolutely. Because I've dealt with these people. I know who these people are. If you don't know, when you're dealing with social media, you don't know this person, and you can't get someone that you've done business with vouch for them, don't do it. Point blank, period. Because like I said, my biggest issue with Instagram is fucking kids. I can't believe. Not only did I have an issue with a guy that was a kid, literally a 15-year-old kid, who almost completely fucked me on a deal, and then turn around and try to accuse me as trying to be a scammer. Me, this guy right here. This mug is all over social media. He's trying to accuse me of being a fucking scammer. Then his fucking, I don't know if it was his boyfriend or his best friend, decided to then hit me up on DMs and start yelling at me for getting mad at his friend. Okay, so I'm dealing with yelling at fucking 12-year-old boys. So my advice is, if you're as a lesson learned going forward, if you're going to do business on Instagram, find people to vouch for them. Ask them for this, just like Alex just said. Ask people about people that you've done business with, or if you see someone who has, that has a following, that's there and has been there for a while, been a member for a long time, and you've seen they've done a lot of transactions, and they can vouch for that person and do it. But if not, don't.
it's a lot harder to do that on Instagram than Facebook, though. You know,
Yeah.
that's the only thing. And I like to go back to what Levon said, and I've been actually kind of practicing this myself, just trying to get them directly from the maker themselves if I can help it. And I've actually avoided a few knives and bought something else just for the mere fact that, I can't find anything on the secondary or at a reasonable price or for somebody I trust. So I'll move on to a different knife because, just like Levon said, there's so many damn knives out there, guys. Like, I know we all get like so focused or so hooked on something sometimes and so fixated, but when you really like look around and open your eyes, and like a chamois is a good example. That's a knife that I've been chasing for like over a year and a half, and the reason why it's not that I can't find one for sale, is I can't find one for sale at a reasonable price. And and I have no problem with those guys who want to pay $2,000 for a sham. Go right ahead. Like, more power to you. Me personally, I want to pay 700, 900, $1,000. I'll pay for a chamois, but I'm not paying more than that. That's just a personal choice to me. So
he opens his book pretty regularly.
Yeah, I've been trying to find, a spot on his books, but he hasn't, or either I'm missing it or it's been a while. Like JG Scout, that was another example of books. So I happened to just be lucky on that day, like a year and a half ago, where I was just on there and he said, "My books are opening." They were gone within a day, though. It was fast. And then this year, when he opened his books, it didn't even last a day. It was like six hours filled up. So then, you got to wait another year and a half for a Scout. I got enough to get one. sometimes it's better to move on, buy something else. So, like for example, I was almost gonna pull the trigger on a sham for about $1,200. The guy ended up telling me that he gave me some crazy story. His house got robbed, and 3 of the Shamwaris were gone, and this and that.
I hate when people do that.
Yeah,
Sounds
and
made up.
Yep.
he's a pretty established dude on the Facebook groups. As a matter of fact, from what I understand, him and Gareth are pretty good buddies. But
Garrett is a very honest guy too. You know, he has a very great relationship.
that's what I hear.
I was being facetious.
Oh, really? I haven't heard anything about Gareth or any of those guys.
Go look it up, man. You'll love it.
I'm sure there's something on Blade forums about it.
The only thing I've heard about
It's like
Gareth
his African moon.
is
I was just gonna say it's like the Will Moon Chronicles.
no shit,
Mhm.
because I've had experience with Will Moon.
And Will Moon seems to be on the straight and narrow as of late. So I haven't heard any horrors about him recently. So
Hey, there's a Yeah, I don't. Are you guys talking about looking for custom makers on Instagram or just knife sales in general?
Like secondary market is what Alex was talking about.
You know, but him and Levon are bringing up custom makers and waiting for a different time and talking about. Are you talking about just knife sales on the secondary market, or are we just talking? So I know what I'm talking about. Are we talking about customs on the secondary? Because I feel like those are two different things.
I was just responding to
Yeah.
your show.
So Shamwari right now, Steve. Like I saw one on the Blade forums, which is probably the most expensive one I've seen on the secondary. I saw one for $2,000, and it was $2,000 for a standard, like non-textured Shamwari. Basically, in layman's terms, it was a very plain one.
Basic bitch.
And this knife, a 3-inch sham, probably be about, I think makers table price, Levon, $500-$600,
Fuck that.
right?
You about $600, yeah.
So, now you got people like crazy. I see on Facebook daily people like crying the blues. I want a Shamwari. I want a Shamwari. So like these things are going like these knives are getting hyped up like crazy. So when I'm shopping on the secondary, people are trying to hit me up for like $1,500, crazy shit, like triple price. I'm like, I'm not doing it. I'm not.
It doesn't surprise me. I mean, there are fucking those last Striders they dropped from Monkey's Edge were going for fucking $2,000 on the secondary market. Just absolutely insane. If you're listening to this and you paid $2,000 for a fucking Strider, you're the dumbest human being that's ever walked the earth. You should go walk into a jungle and get eaten by a jaguar.
Alex, you need to get on Reddit because I see them pop up all the time there for like $700-$800.
It shouldn't even be. It's not. A Strider is not even a 250.
Well, I'm not talking about Strider. I'm talking about a Shamwari.
Yeah,
a Shamwari.
I'm sure they're gone like within like an hour, right?
Yeah, but I mean, if you're on there as much as your other social medias, you'll pick one up before long.
Sounds like some good advice.
Yeah. I know. I don't do Reddit.
Alex,
You'll like Reddit.
Alex,
You'll like Reddit with the Shamwari you want so bad.
Alex,
I obviously want it so bad because I haven't spent the money for it.
No, the Spectres go for stupid money there.
Alex, if you have a Shamwari by Blade Show next year, just let me know. I can walk into Blade Show and buy you one off the table. Like,
You're gonna have to run, bro.
Hey, look, I picked up a fucking a Peter Rosenti custom and a fucking Strider SNG in the first fucking 30 minutes during fucking Blade Show this year.
Well, you won't need to because remember I told you I'm gonna be there next Blade Show next year.
Okay, I was gonna say yeah, because you can get those for way. EDCAF on Instagram. Shout out to him. He picked up a Shamwari for shit. I think he picked one up off somebody at the show for less than $7, for less than $6.
Yeah. Well, so yeah, next year I'm definitely going to Blade. I gotta experience that once at least.
And there'll be a new knife that everyone's got to have that you're gonna be for. No one's gonna be shitloads for a Shamwari.
I'll
I
be
hope.
looking forward to that.
Yeah, you'd be getting it in a couple years anyway. Who cares? The other thing, do you guys have any local shows near any of you?
Mm-mm.
I do. I have.
Go to your local shows, dealers. Go, just look through everything they've got. There's always a diamond in the rough. Always.
So I actually have a local show coming in October. It's what do they call that shit? I don't remember what it's called, but it's in California. The California Custom Knife Show is probably
That's that big show.
and I've also another knife I've been chasing for quite a while is a Sleesh Custom, and
That's gonna be a little hard to get.
he's gonna be there.
There you
So
go. Yes, you know who runs California Custom Knife Show, right?
no.
I don't know if that's secret or not. I'll shut up.
Don't do that. Don't dick tease us. Tell us, Levon.
Guys, it's run by Recon One.
Oh, is it? I am actually buddies with Recon One.
Who are you?
They're only 45 minutes away.
Go
That's
say hi.
who runs that?
Yeah.
Oh shit!
It's like WTF, bro? I need this to happen. Let's make this happen.
I gotta talk to Tamara. Tamara's.
You tell her I told you I'm gonna be in deep shit.
I'm not gonna say it. I'm just gonna ask her, hey, so are you guys gonna be there?
If you need us to cut that out, Levon, we can.
Don't cut it out. Don't be a stop.
I don't give a shit.
We're 2.5 hours in. I will go in 2.5 hours in for you and cut that out.
It's probably not interesting enough to sit in there. So
No, but I think my buddy James said that too.
yeah, it's not like a big deal. They do the show. Well,
Yeah.
They get a lot of people. They do Friday night Blade Affair and all that stuff. Yeah.
Right.
I'm gonna try and make it to that.
Oh, dude, that'd be awesome.
I can't go to USN. I'm actually nursing a back injury, so it's been a little tough. So I'll try and hopefully by the time that's there, I'm gonna try to go to Blade West and Cali.
Right on.
What?
Gerald left. He hasn't said a peep all day.
The pugs need feeding? Is that what it is? The pugs need feeding?
He fell asleep with the pug.
He probably did. You're going to Blade West, LeBron?
As of now, I'm not, but
Try.
I'm gonna try. Hopefully, we'll see. I just had an epidural done a couple weeks ago, though it didn't do very much. I might have to have another one. So
I didn't know you were pregnant.
yes.
That's
Epidural is a gnarly thing. If anyone doesn't know what that is, they jam a giant needle in your spine.
yeah.
You're a tough dude. That shit's gnarly.
Luckily, insurance pays for general, so I don't
No,
remember. I don't
I'm saying
remember
like
the
they jar a needle in your spine. That's
I know exactly what. That's true. But I was out for it, so
Oh, okay. All right.
that's
So
what I
you're,
was saying in general. Yeah, so I'm a puss. Exactly.
I was out. I was sleeping, just like this, and then damn it.
I last thing I remember is like, yeah, can you just lay down face on this table? And I said, this is a very dignified position. And they're like, here, breathe into this tube. I'm like, seriously? Okay. And then that was the last thing I remember.
The last time somebody told me to lay on my stomach and breathe in, it
Right.
didn't well, so I want to know what's going to happen.
Exactly.
Gerald said he wasn't feeling well, but to tell Levon it was nice having him on.
It was a pleasure. I'm sorry we didn't get to talk more.
Tell him he's a chode.
I think we're gonna stick with what Levon said.
Tell him LeVon said he's a chode.
Oh.
He'd be a
I like
chode.
Pupper too. Cool Pupper.
The dog's the
Pubs.
star of every show.
Little doggo.
Doggo. Come on. So what's on your radar, LeVon? What are you looking at right now? What is piquing your interest?
Dude, you know what? For me, like hearing you guys talk about this and your passion is really, it's fun for you to listen to because I've been I'm on another side of the business at this point. Like I'm looking at it from just a weird perspective. I remember vividly being exactly where you are, and I appreciate that, and I'm enjoying it. But as far as stuff on my radar, I'm sort of jaded. I'm trying to say. I mean, everything I look at with a critical eye, but I try to appreciate people who are trying to make an honest living through the knife community, and that's the reason I started what I'm doing. I'm fascinated with people that are, that build up this community.
Mm-hmm.
I like knives, obviously. That started it, just like you guys, passionate about the things. But like we were talking about earlier, a lot of the jackasses that you see at Blade Show or whatever, those are the people that I want to what makes them tick, the douchebags. And then I could say, never want to talk to you again, or let's talk this more on the podcast and things like that. So, but as far as knives that are on my radar, like I said, I would love another Deadlock. Trying to think, what am I excited? Obviously Brian's. I love Brian's stuff. So,
Oh yeah.
anything he's making, I'm into. Elijah was staying with me for a couple weeks, so just seeing him grow as a knife diner and really get behind grinder for the first time and start making knives, some really cool stuff.
That was cool to see.
Yeah. John Gray is a great friend, and he has those gravity knives that are out now. They're really tough. Like, how John Gray tests a lot of his knives? He stabs them into our refrigerators.
That sounds like a Steve test.
Yeah, you would love John Gray, Steve. He would get along very, very, very well.
Hit him up. Tell him to send me a knife. I'll test it. I'll send it right back when I'm done. I swear. Scout's on.
Yeah, sure. If I get him to let me borrow one for a while too, sure.
I did it for a while. Give me a week. Send it to me. I'll beat the hell out of it and send it back. I'm telling you, look, I'm not a big deal.
If he needs a tester, you're the first person on the list.
This man broke a half-inch off of a Strider.
I snapped a Strider in half almost. I can do this. I'm telling you. I can make sure his knife. I'm telling you, if it becomes Super Steel Steve approved, that's a big deal, man. I don't know if you know this.
Yes.
A huge deal in China. Huge.
I actually been thinking about. I'm thinking about picking up a John Gray Valley Song. Actually, there's a couple of them I saw on PVK where he did
exclusive to PVK.
Yeah, they were freaking rad. They had like this milled titanium with carbon fiber insert. Some have them like diamond pattern. I think I saw one at GP Knives too. I saw a couple of them.
He sold it. I think he had Blade Show. From what I understood, he had only sold them PVK, but maybe not.
GP Knives is super cool. I got to visit their shop not too long ago.
There's a lot of great people. A lot of the dealers are very good to deal with.
It's such a small shop.
Blade HQ, D-Knives.
You'd have no idea by looking at their online store that they're such a small shop. Like, I would say it's probably less than 1,500 square feet. And you walk in, you're like, holy shit, there's just knives everywhere. That's where
real estate it's expensive compared to web space.
That's where I was on my way out to Missouri, and they're in Illinois, and that's where I bought my SBR from. I stopped there and bought it from them in person. They were super nice, awesome people out there.
I'm trying to go through and see what other knives I've been eyeing up. Continue.
Big shout out to PVK too, because I've been buying there from years, and PVK is a good place to buy knives.
I never bought from there or Recon One. I want to buy something from each one.
Oh, and by the way, PVK, if you're listening, I have sent you a customer. Yes, I personally send you a customer that have spent $12,000 in your store in the last 6 weeks. So I think I deserve a discount.
You know what that sounds like, Alex?
It's my boss.
Where's that % off, bitch?
Do you know what that sounds like, Alex?
What's that?
Podcast sponsorship.
No, already sponsor a podcast. They can't sponsor ours.
They might. They steer our podcast. They also have podcasts now. Go figure.
That's cool.
Jeremiah, they have the Bladeology podcast with Aja Isham and Nick Chuprin.
That's cool.
I'll check that out. Actually, I didn't even know that one existed. I'm gonna check that one out for sure.
I gotta tell what happens is you got to tell Jeremiah that I told you to listen to his podcast. I'll tell him that you sent him a customer that spent $1,000.
I see where this is going. I like this.
And I'll even give you the Knife Nuts code for a discount at PVK. Okay.
I love it. I love it. You know, and it's so it's funny enough we're talking about this. So my boss, so Levon, we've talked about my boss on the show like quite a bit because when I first met him, he had like a couple like $120 Spydercos, like a paramilitary 2 and S30, like a couple. He had a Swish boot, Spidey Chef. He had like a couple little things. So
That's a pretty decent collection. That's like not a casual collector right there.
Right.
Well, it's not casual, but so he ended up selling everything because I started bringing some customs to work since I recently started working with him. Sold everything he had,
Right.
all his ETs, and he's bought nothing but Marfione customs.
Microtext,
God.
yeah.
Dude, he has like 8 or 9 custom SOCOMs. One's like all Mokume and mirror polished, and he's got... Dude, he's spending ridiculous money on like Microtext right now. So I tell him like PVK is the place to go if you really want them because
That's
they have.
true. And the pricing on PVK for that stuff is probably better than most Nixes.
It is. It is. It was really good, and you know he's like, and he'll. It's funny because he'll call him. He's like, "Hey, I'm about to drop like $5,000 right now without flinching." I'm like, "Oh, okay, bro." And then he's like, so he calls him up, and then he's like, hey guys, so I spent like $4,000 last week, but there's a couple knives I want right now. So can you? And he's such a bargainer, man. Like he always puts up for a discount too. It's like, so give me like $500 off, and I'll buy these 2 other custom SOCOMs right now. And then of course they play the game back, and then they come to an agreement, and he buys the knife.
They're willing deals, man. It's Vegas.
Yep.
They're built for that shit.
I need them.
But I have to say they've taken excellent care of him. Like
They're good. They'll ship the shot right away.
Yep. So and they do have a very cool variety of Morphiones and Microtex. Like they do.
I've actually bought even before they were a sponsor. I bought every OTF from them.
Yep. Dude, I still have an OG Venom Tech that I bought from them. Like
That's a weird fight.
Yep. It's got a sheath and everything.
You're that guy who bought Venom Tech.
Yeah, I am that guy. I just
that guy.
and you know, like, so he may or may not be popular to a lot of knife people, but I'm actually kind of buddies with Jim Skelton. For whatever that is, and I remember like when it was a long time ago, he did a review on that Venom Tech, and I liked what he said about.
I remember the video.
Huh?
I remember that video. Wait, you were gonna before you talk? Can I try and predict what you're gonna say?
Yes.
You like the idea of like having a small blade for doing utility tasks, but then when you flick it open, you got this much blade.
No.
No.
So what he said that I took away, which is the exact reason why I bought it, is the knife is not designed to be a using knife. Like it's a fucking novelty, is what it is.
I can appreciate a novelty.
And I love it for the novelty aspect of it. I never. Now I'm in California, so you already know the whole automatics rule out there.
When it's not closed, it meets your blade length limits, so you can just carry that around.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I brought it to like a couple times out with like I meet up with a couple friends that collect knives out here. I brought it out maybe twice, and then like I'll pull this thing out of the sheath, and they're like, "What the fuck is that?"
It's a grower, not a shower.
Exactly what it is. And when I deploy this thing, they're like, "Holy shit!" Like 5-inch blade out of this little fucking Ultratech handle.
It's really easy to do when half of it's poking out already.
Yep.
It's a McCoy in a Ultratech handle, I think.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is, and I love the novelty aspect of it.
Cool.
Yeah, so you know,
Okay, I had the comb, so Ethan.
yeah. And dude,
Jesus.
I paid like $360 for it, I think. I bought it a very long time ago, but it was a good price for it, back in the day at PVK. So if you guys like custom Marfionis or Microtex, I highly recommend PVK as a good place to go.
Fucking ridiculous, fucking out the fronts.
Yes.
I had my craziest Marfion knife was an NX with a mirror polished blade and meteorite inlays on the back.
Ooh.
Oh,
It was insane. It was insane.
insane. That's an insane setup.
It looked that no one has a mirror polish like Marfion.
Yeah.
I could have sworn they had a coating on there before they polished it. That's how good it is.
Wow.
And just to add to that, nobody does the polished DLC like Marfione either.
Well, it's the same polish that the DLC hardens translucent.
Yeah. Yeah,
it
his
ain't.
C's are the best, man. They really.
Oh, look at the cats. What are they doing? He's on your wall? Hold on, we're doing a cat party now. Quincy.
No, you might not want to do that. Hold on, watch this. What hell do like? Is he really gonna stab a cat?
I was like,
live on-
oh god.
You got two cats. You ain't stabbing.
I wouldn't do that. Tom would edit it. I wouldn't waste it on
I would. I'd cut that out.
a
Wait,
live.
come here. The cat shows up.
I'm gonna do it on a live stream so they can't edit it.
I'm off a live stream because our live stream was struggling so bad.
Say what?
I took us off of being live because it was struggling so bad.
What do you mean? Just now?
Yeah, something was happening with it that it wasn't like nobody could even like watch. They could listen, but they couldn't watch.
Oh, they couldn't see my face.
I mean, they could see it. It was just in bits and pieces over. You'd see like one frame every minute.
Oh, what's wrong with you, Tom?
What's up with
want
the computer lately?
people want to see
I
Levon's
need a
face.
new laptop. This thing's shit.
The people want to see Levon's face. This is a fact.
It's okay. This POV is still going up on
I got
YouTube.
a face for radio.
Yeah.
He's a face for movies.
Doc Schiffer reaction over there.
Yes, sir.
This always goes back up on YouTube when we're done.
Oh, I know.
I know you know. I get
Oh.
I get messages from Dave Martell on a weekly basis. When's the next episode going up? I'm like, when I get it edited, man.
Hey, hashtag Rock Whizzle.
Rock Whizzle. Yep.
Oh man, Dave.
Did you like that shirt I did for him?
It was pretty fucking awesome.
Hashtag Rock Whizzle. Faux shizzle.
Yep, for real. That was awesome. Levon has no idea what's going on because he's so disconnected from from us peasants of the
Please.
community. But you would think it was funny, Levon.
I'm sure it sounds funny.
Instead of Rockwell, he calls it Rock Whizzle.
I see.
He's like, I figured that. Actually,
That part I got.
Oh,
yeah, that part I figured out. I didn't think you were talking about geographs. I was pretty sure that was.
oh, it's fine.
Fuck
I
that!
had the same one.
Fuck that knife.
I bought it off the table. It had lock rock, and they had to whip them
They
together.
always have lock. They always
Yeah,
have
they
lock
do.
side
They
to
do.
side.
Oh wait, that one's a little different. Mine is contoured.
Nah, they always have lock rock. They always have fucking early lockup. The fucking detent balls are made out of sand and they wear within 6 months.
Sure.
The tension. Fuck Strider knives.
It's true.
Actually, mine's perfect, man. I've had no problems with it.
Yeah, whatever. Fuck that knife.
I still think it's the best designs SNG.
Mhm.
It's an alright design, but like the big three thing, maybe 10 years ago, but that thing don't hold a candle to anything that's being put out today. Not even close. $425?
If I were gonna buy a Strider, it'd be the ProTech Strider.
Is that an aluminum handled one or a G10? It's aluminum.
Yeah, I have the aluminum.
It's aluminum. It's aluminum.
The
I-
Chevron.
I have an
Chevron is
with
like,
and I had a aluminum SNG. And that SNG, the newer aluminum SNG was even worse than the G10.
I had.
Ask you guys this: Now it says M Strider on it, but is this a Josh or is this a Mick knife?
It's just the same production line, dude. There's no difference.
Because they split, right?
No, Dwayne and Mick split. Not
Dwayne,
Josh.
Dwayne and Mick split like 25 years ago.
Was it that long ago?
I'm giving you an arbitrary number. It was long ago where that knife has nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
All right.
Dwayne Dwyer still does customs and stuff like that, and Mick does his own shit now. But
Right.
Josh,
They were all under the Strider knives ban.
yeah. Now Josh still
Now
works.
it's
So
Yeah,
who
Josh
do you
works
send
with
this for warranty? Do you send this to Mick or do you send this to Josh?
send it to Marissa. Wait, no, you don't. Oh.
It's the truth. No, it's the truth. It is.
You send it. It's whatever Josh is involved, all in the same
Yeah.
thing.
I met Josh at Blade. Josh works for Mick Strider, not Dwayne.
I'll tell you this Mirror's a cool dude too. I hung out with him for a while. He and you introduced him as just have the knife. We were just talking about him.
Yeah.
The knife
Actually,
that you were
like
just holding, the flipper. Doc Schiffer. Doc introduced me to
Doc.
Mick Strider.
Yeah. Doc Schiffer's a cool dude, man.
Very
I like
cool dude.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
guys, Aaron Frederick and stuff too. They're all buddies.
Oh,
Oh.
really?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that was probably one of the most colorful individuals you had on your show, man.
I love Aaron.
He's a great friend. He's just a really he texted earlier today and I didn't talk to him yet.
Yeah, dude, he's so cool, man. That guy was
He's
funny.
big. You guys have him on the show.
We should.
Dude,
You'd have a blast with him. He would love to come on.
Dude, I would love to have him, man.
Look it up, Levon.
Absolutely, no problem.
I've been in talks with him about getting a custom made, possibly.
And he'll make them for you, and he stands behind everything he does.
I love his warranty.
Mm-hmm.
And they're so reasonably priced.
Yes, I think too reasonably priced. To be honest with you.
I agree. Yeah.
Stop making knives more expensive, guys. Quit it. Shh.
Sorry.
This is it's 100% handmade in his shop, and they're well $400.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well under.
Yeah.
I'm saying don't ruin it for the rest of us peasants.
No, I mean you get a lot of knife for your money from him.
You do.
And you as long as you give a good story, no matter what you do to the knife, he will warranty it.
Yeah.
Rock and roll.
And he's a veteran like me, man. You know, like that already gets him a soft spot for me.
See, I like his Trash Panda line a lot. A lot of those designs are more my style compared to what he does under his own label.
Well, now it's sort of blurred. He makes both of them. They're all handmade.
Yeah.
So the Trash Panda ones are meant to be more, they're lower point. Usually, a lot of fixed, and he started doing some of the smaller flippers and the joints under that too.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, you've been talking about getting a Trash Panda for a while, Tom.
I have. I've liked Aaron ever since I heard him on your guys' podcast, and I went and checked out his knives. I'm like, yeah, I like those. And then you guys had him on the podcast again, and I was like, yeah, I really need to get a knife from this dude. My only gripe, he's a little slow on communication, but he always gets back to me.
It's just because it's the Instagram. He's not good at it. He runs his shaker. So he's usually never on there. You can tell by posts he makes.
Yeah.
That
But
he doesn't know how to put them on to fix them so they fit the screen.
Yeah.
Didn't you say on your show like he doesn't want to be Instagram, he wants to be called?
Yeah. He's more email him or call him.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I've ran into a few makers like that.
They're all Luddites, man. These guys are like John Gray. Sending him a text. He lives like 20s from me. I see him regularly. I know I can text him. You know what I mean? It just doesn't work.
Oh, speaking of John and knife makers, so for you guys listening right now, I know there's like an auction on a couple knives. I don't know who's into spending, money, but I thought this was a good cause and something good to mention. John Graham. There's a couple auctions going on right now for some of his stuff. Look around some of the knife stores because I heard he got diagnosed with stage 4 colon cancer.
Who did?
And John Graham, the Razor.
Wow.
So if you guys see his stuff, I mean, I'm actually almost inclined to buy another knife just because of that fact and help him out, man. He's part of the community.
Nice guy. He
Super
really is.
Super nice guy. Phenomenal knife maker. Has his own style that nobody's been able to. He's got his own thing, The Razor chisel is just his thing. So please, guys, if you guys see his stuff, I think a couple shops are sending. He had made a couple tomahawks out of Damascus that he's selling, and just support that guy.
Yeah, definitely.
Part of the community, and he's a very well-known knife maker, and I definitely would love to see him stick around. So do what you can. I want to mention that. That's something
definitely. All right, boys. It's been almost 3 hours at this point. It's been a couple episodes since we've gone 3 hours. And we didn't even have G for the last.
How did I get so?
I hope you had a comfy chair this entire time.
I blast. I'm just picking on you.
Awesome. Well, we're glad that you came on. I was excited when Alex was like, "Yeah, Levon's gonna be on an episode." I was like, "That'll be fun."
I know why you had me. I'm literally just a jackass.
It's been a lot of fun, especially because you guys were like the OG podcast that I kind of listened to for the knife stuff before. Like when I was first like getting into the whole podcast shit, like you guys were the first one I listened to, and
you look familiar too. Did I miss the show?
I can give you.
I DM'd you a long time ago about a fundraiser for somebody who was going through something. It was a GoFundMe. I don't want to mention his name now. Just I figure he probably wants to stay private. But yeah, I DM'd you it was like a year ago.
Did I help you with it or not?
Oh yeah, you hooked us up.
Okay.
It was awesome.
Better now.
I've DM'd Levon a few times.
I know.
And I'm honored that he came on the podcast. I knew he'd fit right in, have a lot of fun.
For sure.
And I'm definitely a big fan of the Knife Nuts podcast. So please tell Brian I'm a big fan. Tell Jake, all those guys, thank you very much for doing what they do.
I surely will. They will be very, very happy to hear that.
We need to have a Knife Nuts Sharp Talk, like, fuck fest of a podcast.
Okay.
I DM Levon one time. He told me to go fuck myself.
That sounds right.
I would have done the same.
Huge fan. What's up? And he was like, "Go suck gasoline and die."
Hey,
Basically what
you DM me after the show, I'll tell you the same thing.
Hey, yeah, it's par for the course.
Exactly.
Par for the course.
Exactly.
I felt right at home.
But seriously, Levon, thank you for taking the time, man.
Thank you for having me. This is like I really enjoyed being able to sit back, relax, and listen to you guys. All of you are very intelligent and know what the hell you're talking about. So I wish you guys the best of luck with everything you're doing. I hope you guys all get the knives you want, no matter what they.
Absolutely.
Thanks,
Well,
man.
My new thing's been sell knives, buy guns.
And he's got a shirt for it too.
Yes, I do.
So.
But yeah, so thanks again for joining us, Levon. I really
My pleasure.
It. And we hope to have you again, or I might even, hope to get one of your colleagues here.
Sure. Anytime.
Sounds
You know
good.
how to reach them too. Oh, look at that little.
Oh yeah, I'm sure we can get a hold of all of them except for maybe Brian on a regular basis on Instagram.
Brian,
The hardest one to track down is probably Jake.
Oh really?
Jake.
Yeah.
Hey, by the way, when's Jake gonna start making knives? I've been
There you go.
Yeah.
I was wondering when that was gonna.
Come
I
on,
don't
Jake.
Wait,
That's it.
so did Elijah get a knife made in Jake's shop before he did?
No. Almost. They were playing around with Jake's grinder. He's still working on the shop.
Yeah.
But Elijah had the 2 knives that he completed at John Gray's shop.
Awesome.
Very cool. Yeah, and John Gray is another very legendary knife guy.
He's a fun.
He's a cool dude. I hope you have him on your podcast again. I know he's a man of
He's
words.
not. I love him to death. He's like worst podcast guest in the world.
Well, that's
The
what makes it
worst.
fun, man. That's
The
what makes
worst.
it.
He doesn't talk. The only reason he said anything is because he was literally sitting right next to me. We were in my other friend's house, and I literally had to kick him in the leg to actually start talking.
He's our Gerald.
Give him elbows.
Yeah. He acts like a Gerald. I don't know what that means.
Gerald only talks when provoked.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you got to provoke him. You got to say something that he doesn't agree with.
Then he'll start screaming.
Titanium's the greatest handle material ever, and then Gerald comes through with the G-strike. Fuck you, I hate titanium.
All right.
You guys-
Funny.
All right, guys.
Well, thank you all again. Really
Thank you.
appreciate it.
Thank you, man. Thank you very much.
Thank
It was
you
a
to
pleasure
all
to
the viewers on Twitch who put up with the really shitty quality tonight. Hopefully we can fix that in the future. I don't know what was up with tonight, but the episode will be up on YouTube and all the normal platforms. If you guys haven't checked out the Knife Nuts podcast, you must be living under a rock, and you should go check them out. Great podcast, although they post like once every 2 months now.
We're trying to do it bi-weekly.
That's what we do now.
Bi-monthly, not weekly. Fuck, we never do that.
Bi-monthly.
Bi-monthly.
So go check them out. They're I'm assuming they're probably on all the same stuff we are.
Things.
Yeah, definitely go check them out. So thank you guys for tuning in for the episode, and we'll see you 2 weeks from now.